YouTube, I hope you are doing very, very well today. Hello, hello, hello. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. I'm just going to Minmus. This time with a lot more science attached, and we're going to get a load more science from Minmus, bring it back, and then we'll be able to research stairs. Okay, so we've got... Oh, I see. We need to close this. So let's get our science instruments ready, shall we? I've got a load of thermometers here. Good. Two mystery goos, I think. We'll have two mystery goos. Pressure barometer. Okay, we don't need this many. Let's have 3 and 3. Okay. Let's also have, we've got that scan radar. It doesn't get us any science. So I think we're okay. Have we only got 1, 2, 3 scientific instruments, not counting the Science Junior? Well, obviously that's a yes. Okay. Okay, got it. All right, lovely. Let's get the flight computer installed. We've got 3 thermometers, 3 barometers, and 2 loads of mystery goo. Good. Right, let's get that saved. Right, so that is our ship just before it enters the atmosphere. So we'll be using this to slow us down, and by this point, hopefully... the pilot will have gathered all the data. Good. Right, now, so let's now do the stage that's set to come back from the moon. So let's go with... how would this work? If I did this, we would get... Again, 344 delta V. It's not great, is it? What if we did more? What if we did that? How much delta V would we get out of that bugger? 561. Yeah. Sod it. Let's go for it then. Let's do that. Appearance... Open the ring. Oh. Okay. Get your appearance as well. There we go. Lovely. All right, good. There's stage number 2. Now we need enough oomph to get us up and in orbit. So we now make a new engine here. Oh, we've got stack separators rather than the other ones. Good, that's useful. Okay, so let's go with that's pretty good. We'll get a nice tank like that. Let's just load that pattern. There we go. And attached to that, we can have... No, not that one. Now, do we have asparagus staging? Yes, we do. Okay, so I'm going to explain in a minute what asparagus staging is. So, and we're going to need a booster, aren't we? Let's just get a booster while we're here. Oh, that's a big... Oh, that's a big booster, sir. Okay. Actually, that is a pretty decently big booster, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Right, that is a pretty long ship. So atmospheric then. So that gives us. Oh, that's more than enough. That's more than enough. I think that's more than enough to get us to Minmus and back. But why don't I make absolutely sure? I'm not going to do asparagus staging this time. I will do that next. Okay, so let's get 3 of these here. Let's get another. And if we fire these boosters at the same time, and then we release these. Okay, that's probably pretty good. Okay, so let's get these aligned with the ground so it can sit on its boosters if it wants. There we go. Can we get these boosters coloured in? Can we get green ones at all? Yes, we can. Excellent. And that one doesn't. Okay. Hello, Space Ben. Hello, Almost Matt. How do I feel about you arriving?
If I don't survive, tell my wife hello.
Oh, okay. That's how I feel about it. Good to know. I hope you're both very well today.
If I don't survive, tell my wife hello. All I know is my gut says maybe.
Yeah. There's a new animated emote as well. Isn't that fun? Right, so... Oh, I tell you what, I do quite like the tacky... I quite like the tacky gold trim. That's quite good. So, boosters go up. We jettison these boosters. Oh, let's cap these off so that they're nice and aerodynamic. Space should be working.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't
Have you got some weird not being registered thing going on, Space Ben?
Space!
Is it that you're not registered? In fact, looking at you here, looking at your details, you're not registering as subscribed. Whatever issues you have going on with your account, they seem to have... Your sub expired. Oh, well, that explains that then. That does explain that. Fine. Good.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
There we go. So... There we go. Right, so Spag Bowl 1. This is just going to go around Minmus and collect scientific data. Nothing too exciting. So we've got thrusters here, boosters here. They'll come off. We'll still have this booster here. Then we've got a mid-stage engine here for getting us into orbit. And then we've got 2 little engines here for getting us around Minmus. I think that should be fine. Who's been before? Oh, yes. Bob, you've been before, haven't you? So you can go again. And we're going to need an autopilot because Bob is no pilot. So if I do...
But you've asked me to do it, so I'll do it.
There's a 2-seater one here. There's a 2-seater command pod. That is surprisingly useful. Okay, excellent. Also, we're going to need batteries, obviously. Why won't we need batteries? Should be obvious to everyone. We're going to need batteries. And we are going to need solar panels. There's some more of those. Let's just get 2 lots of those. That's not quite right. There we go. We've got batteries and solar panels. That all looks very credible. Oh, we've actually got inline batteries as well. Okay, we are starting to get some quite decent equipment. That is encouraging. We've got the high gain antenna here. We only need one of those. There we go. That's for sending our data back. We've got heat shields. We don't need that. We don't need that. Oh, yes, we do probably need fins, don't we? Let's get some fins installed on this. Apart from that, not a lot happening. Nothing I can see. What? Way! Way! 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. Thank you very, very much for the subscription, Space Ben. Thank you. It is hugely, hugely appreciated. Thank you. What a lovely start to the week. Thank you very, very much. Awesome. Good, good, good. And now you can go into space. Okay, so there we go. All right, okay. I think this is probably enough. If not, we'll just have to cope. Oh, did I put... Oh, no, I didn't quite put fins on properly, did I? Here we go. If I just get these aligned properly. There we go. Oh, that should be a triple, obviously.
Okay,
let's off-road. All right, I don't know if if that's actually going to be enough, but, well, let's find out. So who have we got? We've got Bob on his way. The craft is too heavy. The launch pad can't support vessels heavier than 140 tons. This is 142 tons. Okay. Well, I do need to upgrade my launch pad, so I might as well do that then, because if I'm already reaching the weight limit, that's only going to get worse. Oh, it's going to cost us too much money to upgrade our launch pad. Right.
Right.
Can I shave... Okay, fine. Before I cheat, bikinis and boob physics with dancing designed to showcase it. I've been avoiding Subnautica 2 because it's early access. And I'm thinking, well, if I'm going to fork out that sort of money... actually, I don't know how much it is, but I assume it's not that cheap. And I thought, if I'm going to fork out that much money, I'm going to wait for everyone else to play test it before I get involved. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I read a review of it that said that the game won't leave you alone. That the game's Oh, maybe I could use maybe if I used lighter boosters. That might work. That the game's sort of nagging you all the time to do this and do that, which the original game didn't do. The original game was... what was very, very, very appealing about that original game was it just leaving you to get on with it. You had that flaming ship right at the start. You have that flaming ship waiting for you to investigate it, but it's just there, and you can play pretty much the entire game without investigating the ship. The ship was just, you know, in your own time you can do these missions. I haven't played the new one, so I don't know for a fact, but apparently it's quite eager for you to get on with the plot, which was, I'm not playing it for the plot. That was the problem with Below Zero. That really was that's probably the main reason why I didn't like Below Zero. There was this whole plot about your sister going missing or something, and it was that sort of your character really cared about finding their sister, which I think is meant to be that makes you. But I don't know. Having never met my character's sister, I couldn't give a toss. And so my character was just going on and on and on and on and on about their missing sister, and I'm just, yeah. Can I build a big underwater space truck, please? Can I get on with building my base? And that does kind of alienate you from a game when the character you're supposed to be playing has different priorities. So whereas, and also she wasn't It wasn't a silent protagonist, whereas in Subnautica 1, lovely silent protagonist means you can project your own thoughts and feelings onto it. Anyway, but that was my quibble with it. I liked in Subnautica Below Zero. I liked, like I said, the modular space truck was the modular sea truck was a huge amount of. Yeah, the streamer's a cartoon avatar. That might be it. Yeah, the underwater space lorry with the portable fish tank and such like. I really liked that. I liked, as always with Subnautica, I loved all the base building stuff. I'll quite happily just sit and build a base for hours and hours and hours. But as I say, my character just kept on wanting to go onto dry land and find their sister. What was the Cyclops? Oh yeah, the Cyclops. Oh, I love my Cyclops. The first time I built that Cyclops and thought, oh, is this all for me? Oh. Yeah, I mean, because the plot of the first game was he just wants to get off the planet, which is fine. That as a goal, that's I also would like at some point to see the cutscene where you lift off from the planet and look at the planet below you. So yeah, that was your player had a goal in the first one that you, the player, could share. Whereas, like I say, 1.5, it depended rather on me giving a toss about someone's non-existent sister. Okay, so these boosters are fine then. So are we now underneath the oh shit are we now underneath the oh, I see, I removed that from symmetry. Are we underneath the weight limit? Let's find out. Are we ready to launch? Do we have Bob? Yes, we do. Good, we are under the weight limit. I spoiled it for myself by watching someone stream it when it was only on PC, so I bothered to finish it. The gameplay of the sequel was fine. I could not be bothered. Oh, sorry, when I'm talking about the sequel, I'm talking about 1.5 or whatever it is. Was it Below Zero? There was far too much walking over land. I think they... now, to be fair, that is a tall rocket, isn't it? That is going to flop over like a wedding night willy after one too many champagnes. That's too tall. Bob, I think this is a death trap. Oh yeah. The all the corporate fannying around. Yeah, they were shafting the programmers over getting paid for delivering on time. But yes, there was in Sub-Zero too much pissing around overground, too much wandering around overground. But you know, if I want to wander around overground, I'll play almost any other first-player shooter. The thing about Subnautica is that it's the underwater one. And obviously, I think when they were making that Below Zero, they thought, oh, I know what would be different. Instead of being underwater, why don't we be overwater as well? And I wasn't interested in that. Yeah, hopefully there's not too much over. Anyway, I absolutely will be playing Subnautica 2 at some point, but as I say, they seem to have released it really early to get the general public to play test it for them, so I'm going to let them do that. Right, Bob, I don't think this is going to work. Shall we just find out? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Don't get too excited, Bob.
Right.
I think if we were to even deviate slightly from pointing straight up, this would flop over. Okay, these little boosters are actually lasting longer than I thought they would. So that's good. It would have been overkill doing it the other way. Okay. Okay, well, much to my surprise, this is going all right. It hasn't flopped over at all yet, and we might even be... Time to ditch these boosters. Off you go. they can crash down onto the base below us. This booster still has a lot of zhuzh left in it. This is going to take us... Okay, this booster's, I would say, too powerful. I don't have any way of stopping it, and it is taking us very high and very fast indeed. Okay. That is noted. Okay, so that booster was finally expired, taking us 280,000 metres up. So that has more than done its job. Let's just get out of... Okay, we're now out of the atmosphere. Let's ditch the booster. Off it goes. Let's get ourselves orientated on the 90-degree horizon. Let's point our ship sideways. We've been going straight up. Now we're going to point it sideways and hopefully go. Off we go. There we go. Right. So now we let this burn until we've achieved a nice stable orbit, and then we will be on our way to Minmus. So here we go. Here's our orbit at the moment. You can see that we're nowhere near our apoapsis, and you can see the orbit flattening out just here. Tintin. Haven't read the comics. As a nipper, I really liked. I think it was either French or Belgian. There was Hergé's Adventures of Tintin, which they were kind of cut into little 3 or 4 minute cartoon serials. I think they were quite. I think they were quite faithful to the material. But I was well into those. I think in the 90s, there's a very decent Tintin cartoon that was on Channel 4, which was very similar in style to the cheaper, shorter ones I liked as a kid, but a lot more polished. So I watched that as well, actually, and that was very decent. I'm guessing that's kind of the definitive animated version of Tintin. But that was very nice. So yeah, I was well into those, but in terms of reading the comics, not really. I was much more of a Beano reader, Whizzer and Chips kind of thing. But I am aware of and fond of Hergé's Adventures of Tintin. Obviously, I like Captain Haddock. Captain Haddock is my soul creature. You grew up without a TV, so I had a lot of things like Tintin and Asterix books. Oh, radio dramas. See, that's the thing. I grew up with it. My mum had the Radio 4 on a lot, so I've got many memories of strange and forgotten radio dramas that I'm not even sure ever existed rattling around in my head. I look for them on YouTube, but so much of it is just evaporated into thin air. You were on TV before you have any memory of seeing a TV. There we go. That is our ship in orbit. Congratulations, Bob. You are in orbit. Well done. Good. So we're in a bit of an elliptical orbit. I was a bit of a lazy sod just then. I could have and should have waited until we got to the apoapsis and then circularised it that way. But I'm a bit impatient to get to the main event, which is landing on your actual moon. So let's go as quickly as we can. Let's go to the descending node here. So that's the point at which our plane of inclination intersects with Minmus's. Let's plan this manoeuvre. Let's expand our orbit all the way out to Minmus's orbit, where hopefully we'll catch it. Maybe. Let's twiddle this around. Minmus is quite a small object, so it doesn't exert much of a gravitational field, so it's surprisingly tricky. It's surprisingly tricky to intercept. Got it. There it is. Okay. 954 meters per second. Can we get that further down? Okay, let's do that then. Okay, 950 meters per second. Okay, that's fine. It'll have to be fine. Okay, again, I'm still not entirely sure that I've got enough fuel for this. Don't tell Bob, though. Please don't tell Bob. Okay, Bob, you've got 9 minutes to sit in orbit while we line up the next burn that will take us near to Minmus. All right, Bob, are you ready? 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. There we go. In fact, 1 minute, 24. We want to blast about now, I think. You ready, Bob? And hit it. Stability control on. There we go. Right. So Bob is now burning away from... Could I name all 12 disciples? Peter, Thomas, Judas, Simon, Paul, Mark, Matthew, Luke, did I say John? Thaddeus, that's 10. Isn't there is there a Bartholomew? Or am I thinking of The Simpsons? Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, Peter, Simon, Judas, Thaddeus. Not sure if John actually was one. Yeah, it's John the Baptist. It's probably the name John, isn't there? I was going to say there'd be a lot of them. Kevin and Dappy, yeah. So the answer is, according to dailyeffectiveprayer.org, oh, that's a lovely bit of AI. Hey, did you know we've actually got a picture of the 12? I did not know they had cameras in those days. It's the only way I can assume they've found such beautiful pictures. Let's have a look. There they are. There they all are. That's what they all look like. They all look suspiciously very, very... Can't even see which one's the lead singer. I assume... is this the big guy, or is that just Peter, making sure he's in the middle? But they are some very white, very bearded, long-haired men. Look like they're on a boat trip. Well, anyway, that must have been what they look like. I've got no better ideas. Right, in order. Okay, Simon, Peter. I tell you who we forgot about. Andrew. Yeah, Andrew the disciple. We all remember Andrew, don't we? James, John, Philip. Yeah. I was right about Bartholomew. I'm quite pleased about that. Thomas, Matthew, another James. Is this right? And what? There were two Jameses. Thaddeus, another Simon, and Judas. What? No, that's bollocks. I'm not. No. Let's go Wikipedia, for God's sake. Let's go Wikipedia, for Christ's sake. Right then. Glenn. Yeah. Right. Simon, Craig.
Right.
There was this guy called Craig. Simon, who was then called Peter. So that's Peter. Okay. Andrew. Never heard of Andrew. Made up. Peter's brother Andrew. He's like not Bonehead. He's like the third Gallagher brother. It's like the third Attenborough or the third Dimbleby. Andrew the disciple. James, son of Zebedee. For fuck's sake. James, one of the sons of Zebedee. John is also one of the sons of Zebedee. So it's really not what you know, it's who you know, clearly. Philip. Philip, also known as Philip. Bartholomew, who in the Gospel of John, bizarrely, is known as Nathaniel, but everyone else calls him Bartholomew. Nathaniel. Feels like he didn't make that much of an impression. Thomas, who in the Gospel of John is also called Didymus. If I was called Thomas, I would definitely prefer to be called Didymus, but there we go. Matthew the publican. Right, so Matthew the publican, Matthew Levi. There we go. Matthew is not at all mentioned in the Gospel of John, which seems a bit rude. James, son of Alphaeus. So there were two Jameses. So James, son of Zebedee, must not be confused with James, son of Alphaeus. Thaddeus, or Lebbeus, Thaddeus, who was also referred to, slightly confusingly, as Judas. So Thaddeus was known as Judas brackets not Iscariot, which I imagine he would have ended up saying quite a lot. Which I was one of Jesus' disciples. Which one were you? Judas. No, not that one. Everyone thinks it's that one. Simon. Is that another Simon, but not the Simon that became Peter, a different Simon, and not Peter Simon from Run the Risk. That's Simon the Zealot. He sounds fun. And of course, the man himself, Judas Iscariot. So, yeah, the 12 disciples are Peter, Andrew, of course, James 1, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, James 2, Thaddeus, Simon, and Judas. There you go. That is today's religious instruction. Right, we've got an orbit to sort out, haven't we? Okay, so ascending node. Oh, that's the problem, isn't it? I have buggered this right up. Okay. That's fine. Well, it's not fine. It's bad. But that's okay. All right, fine. I see. Okay, fine. Okay. Let's get our nose pointed towards James or Bart. Yeah. My son is also called Bort. Naomi is a Hebrew name. I discovered that yesterday. I thought it was Greek, but it's Hebrew. Okay, Zoe's Greek, so I thought Naomi was Greek, but it wasn't. Oh, we watched. Oh yeah, we had watched a couple of watched Star Trek TNG and Columbo over the weekend. Quality, both featuring young actresses who would go on to be much more famous. The Columbo had a young, but thankfully not too young, Kim Cattrall. She was in her 20s, it was fine. But yeah, Kim Cattrall. Sorry, that's me just literally just thinking about Kim Cattrall there. I have quite a thing. My wife knows that out of, obviously, you have to pick which one of the 4 Sex in the Cities is your favourite. And obviously Samantha was always the only character I liked in that whole sodding show. It was on at the time when I was still trying to impress my wife, so I had to kind of pretend to enjoy it. Yeah, the only character I even approached liking was Samantha, because she's the only one who's actually having any fun. She's the only one who's not neurotic. She just likes a good... Did she? Interesting. I mean, Charlotte's the prettiest one, but it would not be a good match, whereas... Yeah. Anyway, so she was dates back to Police Academy. I was the right age. So yeah, it had Kim Cattrall as the lover of the murderer, and I certainly went very, very quiet watching that. She was excellent in it. It's one of those things where you see a young actor at the start of their career who would then go on to be, and you see that they're actually giving. Oh, actually, she's doing some really decent acting. The other one, and I now have officially. I now have a Star Trek TNG episode. You don't forget these things. No, you don't. I've now got a Star Trek TNG episode that I will officially say is my favourite underrated episode. And there's every chance that don't even remember this episode, but it's genuinely one of my favourites. I'm literally trying to remember what the title of it is. I will remember. An ambassador's on board with a mystery egg. And they're going to deliver the mystery egg to the Chancellor of War Planet, Viridian 3 or whatever. Viridian 3. Anyway, some Ferengi get on board and try and steal the egg, and they break the egg open, and it turns out the gift that was being given to this planet is in fact a young Famke Janssen. And she is a... sex lady who's been genetically engineered. It's called a Kinder Surprise, yeah, with a fully functional Famke Janssen inside. She's a polymath. Was it a polymorph? No, not a polymorph. A polypath or something. Basically, she locks onto whatever the man, and it can only be a man. Don't forget, men and women. That's it. That's the only genders available. She changes her personality according to whichever man she's talking to at the time. She's kind of genetically programmed to be pleasing to whatever male. So for Mr. Worf, when she sees Mr. Worf, she starts growling at him, and she hangs out with Picard. And she's all talking about Shakespeare and architecture with him. There's a great bit where Riker's showing her to her quarters, and she, with very little resistance, sticks her tongue down Riker's throat and says, "Whoa, I'm exactly everything you want, Commander." And he goes, "Right, okay, no, really, I've got to go now. I've really, no, can't do this. And he shuts the door and he goes, "Bridge, it's Riker. If you need me, I'll be in holodeck 4. It's not even hinted that he's going to go to holodeck 4 to take out his frustrations. It's not subtext. It's just text. A visibly far too horny Riker just going, right, that's it, to the holodeck. There's only one way. There's only one way I'm getting rid of this. But Picard falls in love with her properly She doesn't want to be alone because she's nervous about being sent to this guy. So she spends all night with Picard, who reads her Shakespeare, and they talk about architecture, and it's really beautifully acted, because obviously Sir Pat Stew is doing his most his solemn Picard dutiful face acting, but she's really that's the point. Actually, I meant to look based on that, because my wife asked me how many holodecks are there on the Enterprise, because she was also questioning the booking system. I'm just trying to find. I've got the Enterprise D technical manual here somewhere. I could look it up on the internet. Oh shit! I could look it up on the internet, but when I've got an actual technical manual, it seems a shame. But yeah, what is the booking system for the holodeck? If you're an ensign and you've booked it 3 weeks in advance, but Riker's encountered a sexy sex alien lady and needs to take out his frustrations before the next shift, does he get to cancel you? Now, where is my Star Trek technical manual? Is something an incredibly attractive man who is irresistible to others would say. One sec. You think I'd have it to hand, wouldn't you? No, I'm going to have to. I'm not going to look it up on the internet. I will find the book and let you know. But yes, I do not know, Ben, how the holiday. There's what, 1,000 people on board. There's 1,000 people on board, and I'm going to say 8 holodecks. So anyway, yeah, but she's amazing. She did some really, rather than just being the sex lady, she really got the emotion in her eyes, and I think it's that thing. She has a lot of shots of Patrick Stewart, and it's that thing of just seeing he's kind of, you can see that Patrick Stewart's raised his acting game, because he's got very little to do other than sit in a chair and look vaguely sad and horny. He brings a lot to it, and she brings a lot to it, and me and the missus were just watching it going, she's really good. This is really good. And spoilers for this, it's got the most tragic ending. So the idea is that she locks onto whatever man, but only for a certain amount of time, and then she becomes permanently locked onto that guy. And because she was lonely and didn't want to be left alone on her last night before her wet marriage, she locked onto Picard. And so the next day he's in love with her, and he has to give her away to this pillock. And they made him the guy that they're giving him away to. They've made him very camp with big Andy, big ginger curly hair. He's just this very camp sort of shrewish man with a big ginger afro. And Picard has to give her away to him. Even though he's in love with her, and she's in love with Picard, and now she's set to Picard settings for the rest of her life, rather than feeling the love that she would have for her husband. She now has to she has to spend the rest of her life married to this prick, not being in love with him, because she's going to be in love with Picard for the rest of her life. And she says, I only hope he likes Shakespeare. But yeah, and then Picard just has to kind of leave her, so ruins her entire life, and then just leaves her to get married, and then the Enterprise flies off. And it's a really tragic episode, and it's a weird one. I never see it get talked about ever, really, but I'm definitely putting it in one of my top 10 TNG episodes. That one, because I don't know, it hits me right in the. If anything hits me in the feelings unexpectedly, it gets my respect. A grove full of linden trees. Well, like I say, it's never really established if the spunk when you've spunked. Hello everyone, by the way, I'm Eddie. I stream 4 hours a day, 10 till 2 every weekday. Please do subscribe. Yeah, it's not entirely clear when you spunk in the holodeck if when you say presumably quite soon afterwards when you've lost interest, you say, computer, holodeck off, erase that program. Does it just sort of go, does the spunk just sort of go, or is it vaporized along with everything else? Because I know that the holodeck works by, it's like a replicator. It creates solid objects like a replicator, but presumably it also eradicates those solid objects when you turn the holodeck off. But you can't program it. I've put a lot of thought into this. You can't program it to eradicate. Oh, and also if there's any other kind of biological matter left behind, erase that as well, because you might erase, that sounds dangerous. You're going to start, you're going to have people's skin being taken off. So if I was building a holodeck, I would only have it erase what the holodeck has created, which must mean that after you've done a jizz, if you've jizzed into one of the holograms, when the hologram disappears, the jizz is just going to go onto the floor. Does Riker call someone in? Does he call Chief O'Brien in? Chief O'Brien, it's happened again, or does he just do it himself with his sleeve? I don't know, and sadly, I don't think we'll ever know. Gene Roddenberry would definitely have thought this through. Absolutely. Right, what are we doing? Oh, yeah, I was supposed to be making a second burn in 49 minutes. Okay, sorry about that, Bob. I was talking about spunk. Let's get you inserted around Minmus. Yeah. So we are travelling away from Kerbin, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20 minutes. We'll be ready to make our next burn. We don't have very much fuel left, so this is a worry. Okay. All right, we've got 20 seconds until the burn. Are you ready? Let's focus on Minmus as well, shall we? Let's set our focus for there. Okay. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Here we go. Here's our new periapsis. So what I want this number to get... I want this number to go down until it starts going up again. Ooh, pardon. Wallop, that'll do. Okay, now if I... Yeah, I thought so. So I'm just bringing this periapsis. I'm just doing a very, very, very gentle burn at the moment. Almost no thrust at all. Pardon. But I'm just getting this periapsis as close to Minmus as I can. Oh, we're actually going to go around the day side this time, are we? That'd be nice. Let's see how close I can get this. Maybe 8,000 meters. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. 6,000 meters above the surface. Yeah, that seems fine. Excellent. The lower decks came up with a filter for that stuff, that the ensigns get called into change knowing all well what it contains. So is that canon then? Thank you very much, Toctic NMS. So is that canon now then? That the jizz gets left behind and it has to be cleaned up? Maybe, I mean, you'd think maybe there's a sterilisation option. Maybe once you're out of the holodeck and there's definitely no one left in, you should... presumably, though, then it gets replicated. If it's going to beam off the spunk off the floor and the walls, It's not going to eject that into space, is it? That's just going to go straight back into the replicator system. Yeah. It's even worse than recycled urine, really, isn't it? Hello? Hello. You all right? I'm talking about jizz with strangers on the internet. Yeah. Meow, indeed. That was my cat, by the way. Okay, so, right, yeah, sorry, I appear to be a bit distracted. So we are due to swing by Minmus very, very close. So let's see. Meow. All right, fine, I'll just feed the cat. One sec.
Bunny. No. Bunny. No. Bunny. No. Bunny. No. I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Found it. Right, okay. Holodecks. Index HHH holodecks 156 to 157. Right, let's see if this has any answers for us. In the last 30 years, the Starship holodeck has come into its own. The holodeck utilises two main subsystems. Actually, how many are there? Oh, right. Within the USS Enterprise, crew members can visit 4 main holodecks on Deck 11. In addition, a set of 20 smaller personal holographic simulator rooms are located on decks 12 and 33. So there are 4 main holodecks, but there are 20 mini holodecks, which I'm going to assume that we never see. So there are 24 holodecks on the Enterprise. That's between 1,000 people. It's still a bit of a squeeze, but I can see a moderately simple booking system is possible. It was just when it was limited to 4, I thought it was a bit too much. The holographic imagery subsystem and the matter conversion subsystem. The holographic imagery subsection creates the realistic background environments. The matter conversion subsystem creates physical props from the starship's central raw matter supplies. So yeah, the holograms are made out of, well, the same raw matter that the replicator uses. Under normal conditions, a participant in holodeck simulation should not be able to detect the differences. Yeah. Diddly diddly dum. Objects created on the holodeck that are pure. Objects created on the holodeck that are pure holographic images cannot be removed from the holodeck, even if they appear to possess physical reality because of the focused force beam imagery. Objects created by replicator matter conversion do have physical reality and can be removed from the holodeck, even though they will no longer be under computer control. All right, so you can take inanimate objects out with you because they aren't alive or being controlled by the computer. Interesting. The basic mechanism behind the holodeck is the omnidirectional holodiode, the OHD. Visual matrix, multi-layer display panel. Entire walls are covered with OHDs, manufactured in an inexpensive wide roll circuit printing process. 3.04 centimeters thick. Optical data, dedicated high-speed subsections, tactile stimulation. Other stimuli, such as sound, smell and taste, are simulated by more traditional methods, such as speakers or atomizers. Okay. There's nothing, I can't see anything about spunk specifically. No, there's absolutely... Hello, Gruppen. Sorry, I was just looking to see if seminal fluid was covered in the Star Trek, in the Enterprise D technical manual, read the holodeck. But for some reason, it's been left out of this otherwise very detailed article about how the holodeck works. Although, yeah, I mean, again, I think I would say there must be an auto clean. There must be an auto clean function in the holodeck. You just have to make sure there aren't any crew members in there and just get that sterilised. Maybe it's scheduled every 12 hours or after Commander Riker's been in. Just give the place a good, deep clean. Right, good. So we are nearly at... Okay, yes, so we're about to fly by Minmus. That's right. Let's see what science we can get. Did we take any temperatures from out here? Yes, we did. Okay, so we don't care about that. Did we take any barometer readings from out here? Yes, we did, so we don't care about that. And I take it we've taken a mystery goo readings out here, haven't we? Oh, we haven't. It's interesting. Okay, well, we'll keep the mystery goo. Okay. It's part of the ensuite in the premium rooms. Well, it does seem that way, doesn't it? Okay, so let's fast forward time and get ourselves to Minmus. Where is it, actually? Here we go. Whee! 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days later. Here we go. Well, in the first series of TNG, when obviously they were establishing the rules for these sorts of things. In the very first holodeck episode, they mention that if you're in the holodeck and the power goes off, everything including you will be erased. They're trapped in the holodeck and they say, to turn it off and on again, and Geordie says no, that'll erase the captain, Commander Riker, the priceless android. They'll just all get erased, which is quite a bug, isn't it, in the system? Oh, don't worry, you're perfectly safe unless there's a power cut, in which case your existence will be terminated by the computer. I can only assume that they patched that, because that does seem, for what is essentially an amusement arcade for the ship's crew, it does seem to be an unnecessary risk. Okay, so we are now high above Minmus. We can see Minmus over there. Let's take some readings for the science. We've logged that temperature, and we can log that barometer, and we can log this mystery goo. There we go. Right, so that's the mystery goo, the temperature, and the barometer. Bob, EVA time. Here we go. So, Bob, we've taken those readings. Actually, could you just give us a quick EVA report? It was of no interest. Fine. Okay, so, Bob, this is why we've got you along as a scientist, mate. Could you reset these experiments for us? Collect the data, that's right. And restore. There we go. And could you... Oh, don't bash your head on the bloody antenna. Thank you. We need that. Okay, could you now take the data from there? Yep. Cracking. And could you also take the data from the thermometer? Yep. And from the goo. There we go. Good. That's all that scientific data. Lovely, Bob. Let's do that again when you are in a low Minmus orbit. Okay. How long till we're in a low Minmus orbit? 2 hours. Okay, Bob. Have your poo. Get yourself sorted out, and we will see you in 2 hours. So here we go. This is us approaching Minmus. Minmus is looming large, and here we go. So we're getting a much better view of Minmus now. You can see, yeah, it's very easy to land on these ice fields. So, and these bits here are lovely and flat and very easy to land on. As I say, you actually recommended if you want to land on a extraterrestrial body, to land on Minmus first. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to land on the moon first because it's the moon, but it is a good tip. Also, Minmus has an extremely low gravity, so that does make it a lot easier to land on. But we're not landing on Minmus today. That would be far. Do we believe the space landings in 1969 were real? Yes, obviously. They've got mirrors on the moon. It was on Mythbusters. They bounced the lasers off the mirrors on the moon. I mean, what it is as well, I mean, apart from... I liked what Obama said about Area 51, where he said in the 70 years that Area 51 has been keeping all these big secrets, not a single person has taken a selfie. Not one. You don't believe it was real? You weren't alive at the time. Yeah, but it is though. I always liked the Mitchell and Webb sketch where they said, "Oh well, we're going to save a lot of money by not going to the moon." Oh, good. That means we don't have to build the big rocket then. Oh no, we have to build the big rocket. People have to see the big rocket take off. Right, and how much of the budget is the big rocket? Oh, about 80-90% of the budget is building the big rocket. So the idea that they built this enormous... Sorry, not just one, multiple Saturn V rockets at an enormous expense to not then go to the moon, to just sort of chuck it out into space and leave it there. feels like you might as well, if you're going to spend that sort of money, you might as well just go to the moon. People argue that it's impossible to go to the moon because of all the radiation. Well, okay. We'll see soon enough, won't we? And all the camera stuff about parallel shadows and the albedo of the moon's surface has all been proved to be bollocks. Oh, there aren't any stars visible. Yep, that's because of exposure. The shadows aren't parallel. Shadows aren't parallel. The police wouldn't have done a song about it if it wasn't real. Lee Harvey Oswald also definitely shot JFK. So that's my... that I can't... I've funnily enough, I reread a book about... I've got a really grim book written by a pathologist, an expert in ballistic wounds. And it's very convincing about... I know far too much now about what a full metal bullet does to the inside of your skull. It's called... Hang on, I'll go and get it for you. One sec. Yeah, it's really good. It might well be out of print because it's quite old. There we go. It's called The JFK Myths by Larry M. Sturdivan. And it is... Oh, there you go. You can't quite see it. There's a lot of diagrams. Oh, it's got some autopsy. It's got some autopsy photos of Kennedy as well, which is grim. Yeah, you got x-rays of his skull. Oh, that's a nasty one. Yeah, it's there's a lot. There you go. There's a lot of diagrams about what happens to the brain when you have a bullet pass through it and the trajectory of the bullet. Oh, the bullet that hit Governor Connolly's wrist was tumbling, which is why having passed through Kennedy, the bullet was then tumbling. Which then explains the slightly oval-shaped wounds. Larry M. Sturdivan. Again, you know, I've no idea how credible it is, but a Carcano M36, yes, it was. An obsolete, but that does not mean non-functional rifle. It was a perfectly lethal... Sorry, it says in here, people say it was an obsolete rifle, but... and then they therefore think that it didn't work. No, it worked perfectly fine. It's just that there are better rifles than that. But it's a pretty good rifle. What gets me about Lee Harvey Oswald is even if you accept that just because he happened to work in the book depository, he on the 5th floor where he'd arranged like... Oh, you just bought it from... It's a good, quite grim, but it's very interesting. That he worked on the 5th floor where there was, you know, let's say another gunman, because they definitely found the Carcano rifle with spent bullets in the sniper's nest. So if he worked in the book depository, that was being set up. Obsolete, yeah. If a musket ball actually hits you, you're not having a good day. Exactly. So he worked on that floor, but he was being set up. He was, it turns out, when people were asking him where he was going that day with his long gun-shaped package, and he told his landlady that they were curtain rods, even though she didn't need any curtain. Even if we accept that day he went to work with his curtain rods, and happened to work exactly the same building where either someone shot the president or someone set up a fired rifle and spent shells and a sniper's nest on the 5th floor to make it look like he'd shot the president. And even if after having been seen immediately after the shooting coming down the stairs and going, all right, and then going out of the building. Even if he was completely innocent of all of that somehow, who shot Officer Tippett? Because he was absolutely identified as shooting. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, about an hour after the assassination, Officer Tippett, they were on the lookout for basically him, for a man of his description. And Lee Harvey Oswald was in a suburb, I think, driving in a suburb, and he was pulled over by Officer Tippett, and then in front of several witnesses, shot him and killed him. And then ran off or drove off, I think. Anyway, they saw him shoot the policeman. Why would you shoot a policeman? Oh, it's those two things, isn't it? Either he didn't shoot the policeman, and so you've got another conspiracy on top of a conspiracy, or he did shoot the policeman, in which case, like, if Keir Starmer was shot and I was in the vicinity and a policeman said, excuse me, sir, can I just ask you a few questions? And I'm innocent, I'm not going to start shooting. So that's what always gets me about Lee Harvey Oswald. Apart from everything else, I think people forget. Not saying you did at all, Grippen, but I think people forget that there were 2 murders that day, and they would both have to be. What it is about the JFK assassination, what I love about it. I thought the proof of him being one who shot Tippett was shaken and all the other stuff. I mean, there's witness who shot Tippett as well. If it wasn't him, if it wasn't him, and the witnesses all identified him, who shot him then? And why? And how? And then obviously Lee Harvey Oswald goes and hides. He goes into a cinema without paying, and then when he's apprehended in the cinema, what is it he said? He said something along the lines of, here we go, or this is it, and then he lamps a policeman, which again I would say is not the actions of a. What I love about the JFK assassination, there's so much weird stuff. There's that book out at the moment, is it The Umbrella Man and Other Stories? It's only in hardback at the moment, but I really want to get that when it's in paperback, because I only read paperbacks. There's so much weird, unexplained stuff that day. You've got the tramps with the shiny shoes. You've got the Umbrella Man. You've got. Oh, I'll tell you something that is really interesting in that book, because it talks about how people couldn't identify where the shots were coming from. There's a guy who says he literally saw a sniper on the 5th floor, but in the car, they misidentified when Connolly's looking around after that first shot. They misidentified it. It's a really cool diagram. It explains how when a bullet is travelling through the air, it's travelling faster than the speed of sound. So you've got a sonic boom. Obviously, it's got a rolling sonic boom. So when a supersonic bullet goes past, you're not hearing the crack from the rifle. You're hearing the crack of the sonic boom being created by the bullet itself. So when a bullet whizzes past you and you hear a crack, you're hearing the bullet, not the rifle. And so from that perspective, everyone's going to have. They did a test on a load of US Marines to see if they could identify. Oh, and also Dealey Plaza is concrete and built up as well. You got one quite tall building, but yeah, it's concrete overpass, concrete road, concrete buildings. The sound's ricocheting everywhere. So yeah, in terms of, you can't put any credibility really on what direction people reckoned the shot was coming from, either from the depository or from the grassy knoll, because the way that sound reacts with supersonic bullets flying through the air is different. That's in that, but that's very, very interesting. But who did? I mean, it's the thing. If Lee Harvey Oswald, I mean, the whole magic bullet thing has been conclusively debunked. Oliver Stone, and I understand that it's not therefore Lee Harvey Oswald did shoot Kennedy, but it does prove it does disprove that he definitely didn't shoot Kennedy. That because Kennedy was bad. Was it because of his bad back? He was slightly raised up on his seat, and Connolly was slightly lower. But if you draw a line from the 5th floor building and go through Kennedy and spin the bullet, so once it comes out of his throat, the bullet starts spinning over on itself, which is why Connolly has an oval shaped. Oh God, no! It went through Connolly's. That's right. It went through Connolly's back, didn't it? It went out of Kennedy's throat into Connolly's back, and then out through his lung, and then out through his wrist. That's right. So by that point, the thing was spinning and then went into his wrist. But yeah, so that the magic bullet thing was always kind of the magic bullet for proving that it couldn't be done. But the lines do line up. It's what it is. It's absolutely fascinating. I used to very strongly believe that it was a conspiracy, and over time I've kind of changed my mind on that. But it is so interesting. I mean, what I think a lot of it is down to, it's just panicky. I mean, you know, we can see it now in the sort of US government in general, just people panicking and arguing and trying to cover their asses, like the whole autopsy debacle that Kennedy should have had his autopsy in Dallas, but they just bullied it. They just bullied the Dallas coroner and said, fuck you, he's coming to Washington, we'll do it in Washington, we'll do it in Washington. That's always presented as evidence of a conspiracy. I really don't see it. I see that as evidence of people who's just let their boss get shot in the head, and they don't want some small town hick pathologist working on the President of the United States. They want to get him boxed up and sent back so they can do all that stuff. Like losing his brain, that's another good one. That they took out Kennedy's brain, presumably to trace the path of the. But Christ Almighty, I didn't pause Kerbal. Oh, we've gone way past Minmus. God, I hope that science is all right. Yeah, they took out his brain, then lost it. No one knows where his brain is. You could say that the brain proved the path of the bullet through the brain proved that he was shot from the front, and therefore they had to dispose of the evidence. Or it could just be incompetence. I don't know. I just in general, and I could be wrong about this, I do appreciate that I'm not 100% sure that Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy, but I think of all the possibilities, of which there are many, I think it's by far and away the most likely. But and I say a lot of the time, I think a lot of things can be put down to incompetence. So yeah, they literally lost his mind. I mean, it's the way that Jackie Kennedy was treated is absolutely fucking disgraceful. And even in that book, it's not really mentioned how the poor she had that whole journey. She had her husband's brain. She had his head in her lap, and his brains were just oozing all over her. Oh God, the bit in the worst bit, the bit that upsets me the most in the Zapruder footage, when a bit of his skull bounces onto the boot of the car, and she gets out of the car to try and retrieve, because apparently she was trying to gather up bits of his brains and bits of his skull to sort of obviously, hope that you can push it back in again. But she's climbing over the car to get to the bit of cranium that's landed there, which is when the security guy jumps on the car and pushes her back in. So grim. And even in that book, she's kind of a bystander rather than, literally just had her husband's warm brains sprayed all over and then just watched him ooze out on her lap. I always feel that she, that all the focus gets kind of on your shiny shoed tramps, but I always think, Christ Almighty, that's a bad day, isn't it? I reckon if he did do it, he wasn't alone. He just didn't decide to do it. Maybe, but there's no. She refused to change out of her outfit. I thought she wasn't. I don't know. I thought she wasn't offered one. I know that she's in the very famous picture of Lyndon Johnson being sworn in on Air Force One, she's wearing the exact same outfit with her husband's brains on it. What it is there still isn't any ballistic evidence that it came from any direction other than from behind. Oh, the whole back into the left thing's a crock as well. I'm sure you've seen the watermelons getting shot with rifles, the spray effect, that just because Kennedy's head went back into the left, if you get shot, this is a light-hearted stream, isn't it? If you get shot in the back of the head and it blows a section of your skull out, you get a kind of a jet effect where as your brain matter exits your head, it blasts your head back. Cheery stuff. There are some pictures in that book of goats. God, they shot goats. They anaesthetised goats. Hello, stupid idiot. They anaesthetised goats and shot them in the head. And there's pictures of that. So, yeah. Oh, brilliant. Hello, stupid idiot show. Thank you so much for the follow. We're talking about murder. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you, and welcome. I think what it is about the JFK conspiracy, it's a bit like the moon landing conspiracy, where you have or 9/11 trutherism, where you come up with let's say a creditable motive, or a halfway creditable motive. So, the moon landing. Oh, they needed to beat the Russians to the moon, so they faked it. Or Kennedy, he had X, Y, and Z conspiracy theories. He had X, Y, and Z enemies: CIA, Cuba, etc., etc. He had a whole list of people who wanted him dead. So there's a conspiracy. Also, all the weird shit that happened that day. You've got that as well. And you start off, or 9/11. Bush wanted a war. So you start off with a motive that, okay, I get the motive. And then I think a lot of conspiracies start with the motive and then look for the evidence that supports the motive. Whereas that's the wrong way round of doing it. You need to look at the evidence and then... the motives... this is the thing about that book, which I quite like. It doesn't really go into Lee Harvey Oswald's psyche or why he did it. Motive's kind of irrelevant. It's more about the physics of the situation. Oh yeah, very it's a very interesting subject. Weird shit happens every day. You only notice when you're paying attention. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Take any disaster at all, at any event where loads of people have all died at the same time, and you'll find strange, unexplained stuff happening, because that's, as you say, that weird shit happens all the time. Random stuff happens all the time. That Nix, I always think of that Nix photo. There's a reverse, NIX, by the way, there's a reverse photo allegedly of the assassination. Yeah, weird shit on 9/11. There's an alleged photo of the shooter behind the grassy knoll, but it is proper Rorschach shit. If you squint and you look and you get, well, you see, if that bit's the gun and that's his head, and then you go, okay, I can see that. I can sort of see a gunman, and then you look at it more and more, and then you go, okay, I can see there's a gunman pointing a gun behind the grassy knoll, and then you look at it again a few weeks later, and you have to kind of I can't see. Oh, and it's like that bloody blue-black dress thing. So I don't know, but God, it's interesting. I really, the Stephen King book was cracking, by the way. Is it 231163? I think it's called, or is it 22? Yeah, like one of those Magic Eye books. Is it 221163? It's 22, isn't it? That was a great book, but yeah, there's loads. I like the one that always gets me is Oswald defecting to the Soviet Union, then coming back with a Soviet wife, and there being sort of apparently very little pushback on that. I'd love to know what that was about. Because that's because he was a US Marine as well. Oh, 11/22/63, that's it. But yeah, he was a US Marine, so I'm there wasn't like a court martial, for literally. As a US Marine, you're going to be privy to some juicy shit, aren't you? So that's one I always find very strange, that he was allowed to just come back to America in the late 50s, early 60s with a Russian wife and just carry on living there. But again, you know, worse decisions have been made. He was out of the Marines by the time he went to the USSR. Yeah. But, you know, it was still a coup for them, wasn't it, to get a US Marine? Look, I mean, I'm not against the idea that he was a double agent, that the defection to the USSR might have been a thing, and he met a wife and got a wife as a reward. Weird guy, very strange guy, and that stuff I find fascinating. And obviously, that doesn't really point to a conclusion in either way about whether or not he shot JFK. But like I say, that's what I love about the JFK assassination. It's just the more you delve, the more weird stuff there is. But like I say, Ben, I think it's just, if you get any moment frozen in time and you deep dive and if I go out, you know, if I go out onto the high street and take a picture and then do a deep dive on everyone in that picture and what their motives were and why they were there at that point, you're going to find really strange stories in there. So, but good, I do. Yeah. So yeah, you reckon he was encouraged? Don't know. It's really fascinating. Anyway, I find it fascinating. But I promise you, I will love it if suddenly a lovely verified high definition picture of a guy in a cop outfit with a rifle behind the grassy knoll to make sure he gets that third and final headshot. Because there was stuff like, Oswald's angle's terrible. You know, I've got that terrible game. I don't think I can play it on stream because I think it's probably too morally repulsive. JFK Reloaded. It came. You might remember it came out about 20 years ago. It's made by Dominic Diamond's mate from Games Master, where you have to shoot Kennedy. But if you can get it on archive.org. It is so grim because, well, you're shooting Kennedy, but you can plug Jackie and I'll tell you what's a good thing to do in JFK Reloaded. If you shoot Kennedy or shoot someone, the car slows down, and then just before it speeds up, if you shoot the driver, the car loses control and drives into the crowd. That's good. There's a game where you shoot Kennedy, and what that game has taught me is that Oswald left it way too late because, to be fair to him, he got the headshot. But you have this long period where Kennedy's coming towards the book depository fairly slowly and then slows to a crawl right underneath the window. Oswald could basically have just chucked bullets at him at this point. They do that kind of 90-degree turn just underneath the window, and then they're driving off, and then it goes behind the tree, which is kind of... And then when Kennedy comes up, because there's a tree in the line of sight between the depository and the limo, and it's just after he reaches the tree that the shots start. So I would again, that's something I'm always a bit fascinated by, is why didn't Oswald take the easy shot? Was he having second thoughts? Was he nervous? Obviously his first shot missed, but I think that's in the film as well. But is that evidence that he didn't do it because he didn't take the much easier shot, or was he just bottling it? Don't know. Same thing happened when he returned to the US. They didn't care he came back because he was so unimportant. The US knew he had no contact with the Russians and was just dismissed as a nobody. Yeah, yeah, maybe. I honestly don't know. Or he was a CIA asset. I don't know. I found it weird that Marina, who she's still alive, by the way, she refuses. I think she gave like an interview in the 70s. And that's it. She's never, ever, ever, ever said anything. She might have taken a different identity, but she's still around. But yeah, I just always found it weird that his wife, he was allowed to bring a Russian back with him. I mean, maybe that was normal. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know early 1960s American policy towards the USSR. But yeah. But yeah, fascinating. JFK. If you really want to feel really bad about yourself, download JFK Reloaded off archive.org and give that a go. It will make you feel sick to your stomach, but it's also quite addictive. I can get Kennedy now when he first appears right at before he even just as he turns onto the road coming to the book depository. I could get him straight away like that, nice and clean. Anyway, sorry. Good. Yeah. I do love a conspiracy. Of course, what it is I'm aware that there are conspiracies that turn out to be true, like Hillsborough, for example. That's the one that always springs to mind. That was absolutely a conspiracy between the police to get their stories straight. So these things do happen. One of those things where it's like laws is just no Russian wives allowed. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing. I'm guessing there are American diplomats in Russia who would have, fallen in love. So I don't know. I don't know what the policy is. But the big shame is that Oswald never got to put up those curtain rods that he took to work with him. Right, Bob, we've just gone past, seems weird, but what you're going to do. I think that's what the Warren Commission said. Bit odd, but shrug. Right, so we are now, can we observe the mystery goo now that we are, yes we can, now we're a bit further away from Minmus. Let's log the temperature. Yep. And let's log the barometer. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, Bob, could you EVA for me? And could you collect this data and then we'll get you home. And then we should be ready to go to the moon. Or are we? Or are we? Mm. Okay. What gets me is that Johnson was 2 cars back. They didn't just have the president waving his vulnerable soft head around for all to see. Lyndon Johnson was 2 cars back. If Oswald had hung out for another 10 seconds, he could have got a twofer. I told you, didn't he? He had a big head. He did have a big head and big balls. I told you I looked up Governor Connolly because I thought, how how much fucking perspective did he get after being shot in the lungs from the bullet that killed his president? He became a very staunch opponent of racial integration. He was a big proponent of segregated education in Texas. Experiment you've collected cannot be stored. Are you sure you want to continue? I guess so. Review stored data 7. Okay, we do have stored data. Okay. Sniper's dream. Is that Bob Mortimer? Right. Okay. Right. That's the science data got from Minmus. Let's head out then. Bob, let's get you right. So we're back in deep space. So our apoapsis. Oh, our apoapsis is pretty far out actually. So once you get to your apoapsis in 16 days, how are we doing for battery power? Oh, we do have battery power. Texan racist. Yeah. Add maneuver. Can't add maneuver node. Control locked. Why is the control locked? Why would you say that to me? Cannot add maneuver node. Control locked. It's a weird one. Okay. No communication network. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, you're right. In that case, can I extend my antenna? Where's my antenna gone? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it hasn't... oh, no, there it is. Thank goodness. I thought it had fallen off. Extend antenna. There we go. There we go. Did Bob pack extra sandwiches? Thank you very much, Mix. That was exactly what it was. Thank you. Right, let's add that manoeuvre and let's get ourselves back on the surface. Curb imperial. I hope we've got enough fuel. Okay. That'll do. That'll do. Good. Right, so let's get our nose pointed in the right direction. Bob, in 16 days, yeah, you really... Did you make some sandwiches, Bob? You didn't. Okay. Have you tried eating fingernails before? You'll find that there might be a few grains of protein underneath your fingernails. You can always lick condensation off the inside of the walls as well. Good luck, Bob. See you in 16 days. There we go. He's having the time of his life. God, it really is taking a long time to get there. Speed up even more. 3, 2... Oh, shit! I just blew it. But it's not too bad. Oh, sod it, it's not too bad. I did just blow the manoeuvre node by a day. I missed it by a day. But, okay, we'll just have to busk it. Okay. That's fine. We'll just fire retro and we'll just land where we will. Oh, there we go. Interesting. That's fine. Periapsis height 70, 60, 50, 40. Okay. Let's go for that then. Okay, Bob, you are on a one-way trip. Interestingly, I didn't need that extra engine. It was over-engineered. Okay. Right, Bob, let's go. Let's get back home, shall we? Let's just quickly save. And let's get you headed to... Where is Kerb? Is that Kerbin? Is it that far away? Yeah, it's pretty far away, isn't it? Oh, actually, can you do a crew report? No use. If you did an EVA, would that be any... Would that be any use? No, not really. Back you go. All right, Bob, well, let's just get you... Let's jettison this engine. We've now got this pointless engine that we don't need, but okay, we can use it to slow ourselves down. And let's get heading back to Kerbin. Where is it? There it is, I think. Oh yeah, I can see it. It's just there. 16 days until Bob is 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3 days. Oh shit, 2 hours. Okay, there we go. That's 16 days passing nice and quickly. And here we go. Heading back with our precious science. Heading back into the atmosphere. Here we go. We're coming in at quite a speed. Probably going to be over 3,000. So I think firing... Here we go. Right, we are now in the atmosphere. So, Bob, let's get this orientated retro and let's spend as much... There we go. Let's spend the rest of our fuel getting this bugger slowed down. Retract the antenna and fire the engines. Looks like it's going to be a watery splash for you, Bob. I hope you brought your trunks. Don't try and... I know you're thirsty. Do try not to drink the sea. Okay, burning this engine probably isn't doing our heat a lot of good. But we brought the fuel. Better to burn later, but any works. Well, what it is, it's a vacuum engine. You know, it doesn't work well in the atmosphere. So I thought, you know, higher the better. Oh, but yeah. Anyway, I think we should be okay. I hope. Let's get this pointing the right way. Yeah, temperature's getting high, but not, I don't think, explodey high. There we go. We're under 2,000 now, so we should be all right. Right, that's gone. Should we jettison? I'll tell you what. Let's flip over and sugar. Right, that was a bit more uncontrolled than I thought it would be, but it's worked out okay. All right, fine. Woof. Sorry about that, Bob. I hope you didn't hear. All right, so we're going to splash down. We're going to get some delicious science, and then we'll be ready to go to the moon once we've researched steps. Speed this up a bit, shall we? Okay, the beautiful. I like that the Kerbals, before launching themselves into space, have actually conquered the scientific challenges of their own planet with their beautiful, crystal clear seawater. They've made sure the planet is in a presentable state before spending money and resources.
But I ain't spending any time on it.
That's the Earth attitude there. That's the attitude of your Earthlings. There we go. We've splashed down. Recover the vessel. What do we think about cleaning up the planet?
All I know is my gut says maybe.
Good. Okay. What have we got? We've got loads of science. Good. Now we can afford stairs. Do we have a lot of money? We might not have a lot of money, but there are ways and means of getting money. Okay, so that's for space planes. We don't necessarily want space planes. What we need are stairs. Can I have some stairs, please? There we go. Space exploration, cargo storage, repair kits, storage container, work lamp. Oh, it's quite annoying. Are there any? No. All right, we'll come fine. We're going to have to research that then. And what's this? EVA experiment, stack separator, adapter, docking port. Yeah, we're going to need a docking port at some point, aren't we? Aviation, propulsion systems. Oh, I do like the external tank, actually. Those little mini propellants. Oh, have I got RCS yet? Have I actually got RCS control? I don't have to unlock those nozzles, do I? Or have I already unlocked them? I'm going to assume that I've already unlocked the nozzles. Okay. Well, in that case, then, let's research that. And then we've got another 90 to get. So why don't I research aviation? There we go. And then we got another 50 there. Right, lovely. Right, moonshot. Spag Bowl 2. Let's see if we can land on the moon. Right, so that was the over-engineered Spag Bowl 1. Let's start over with Spag Bowl 2. Right, so we're going to land, are we? How do I want to do this? Do I want to do this in a... Yes. Do we want to do this Apollo 11 style, where we have a separate lander and then go back up and intercept? Yeah, let's do it Apollo 11 style. Flat, is it? Well, one way to find out. Let's do this as... It'll be a bit more impressive as well to do it as a twofer. So let's design our lunar lander, our mooner lander first then. Hello there, landing can. Now, we can't use this landing can to re-enter the atmosphere. This is just going to be for landing on the moon. So let's get you tanked up. Okay, so we've got a tank there, and we're going to need... Well, there's no atmosphere, so I can use the Terrier, can't I? Yeah. And if that body is on the moon, that gives us just that gives us 2,000 delta V and a 1 minute burn. That's good. Now, do we want to enhance that a little? I think so. So if I get some coupling... and get some probably unnecessary, but nonetheless up the liquid fuel engine. No, we'll just go with these Terriers, I think. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is asparagus staging. Now, this is going to come up a lot. It's kind of a cheat because this can't be done in real life because it requires 100% efficiency. But basically what it is, you get your fuel line and we've got these... At the moment, we've got 3 fuel tanks with an engine and a fuel tank with an engine here. We've got 3 on the outside and 1 on the middle. Conventionally, they all use their own fuel supply, so this middle engine will burn its own fuel supply and these will burn their own. However, we want to jettison these tanks before we jettison this tank for maximum efficiency. So what we do is we get a fuel line, we connect it from the outer tank and we connect it into the central tank. Now what that means is the central tank is drawing its fuel not primarily from its own fuel tank, it's drawing its fuel from the fuel tanks around it. So these tanks will now drain much quicker than before, but all the fuel inside the central engine will remain. It's a much more efficient way of staging your engines, that they essentially share a single fuel source, as it were. So this central engine is now draining fuel from these engines, and when these are empty we'll be able to jettison them. So we'll go with that. Do we have landing struts? We do have landing struts there. That looks like excellent landing struts to me. Okay, do we have... Yes, we do. Do we have nozzles? Oh, an inline stabilizer. Yeah, we'll need that. That is a nice. That's electric wheels. That'll steer us electrically. Thruster blocks, and here we go. There's our RCS, our low-powered thrusters for manoeuvrability. We need some RCS tanks. We've got the baguette external tank. Cool. Is that covering up the door? No, it's not covering up the door, but that is. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We've got the baguettes there. Actually, do we want the baguettes or do we want the smaller... These smaller ones? Let's have these smaller ones. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's plenty. Okay. Space baguettes, yeah. Oh, sorry, this is a different fuel system. So you've got your rocket fuel, which is both rocket, which is oxidizer and liquid fuel. Rockets require oxidizer. Jet engines only require liquid fuel, so they require much smaller tanks. They get their oxygen from oxygen intakes. They get it from the outside atmosphere. Obviously, when you're in space or on the moon, you need to bring your own oxidizer with you, as there is no oxygen there. So these conventional engines run on rocket fuel, as it were. These little RCS thrusters, I really wish I could remember what RCS stands for, but these little RCS thrusters, well, they're thrusters, little pss, 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 and their fuel comes from these monopropellant tanks here. Okay, so that's our lunar lander. We're going to need some electricity, aren't we? So let's get that. Good. And we're going to need a battery. Let's get our inline. Oh, we've got... Oh, okay, that's interesting. That inline battery's too thin, but we can do that. Is that right? Good. Right. Lovely. So we've got solar panels, we've got batteries, sandwiches. God, we need sandwiches. We're going to need to colour this in as well. Thermal. No, we don't need any thermal. And we've got that. Oh, we're going to need communication. Oh, lights. Lights, lights, lights. We've got lights. Good. Let's get some lights pointing down. Maybe I just need one light pointing down then. All right, just the one light pointing down. And let's get our ship itself illuminated. That's all right, isn't it? Okay. So there's our lights, there's our battery. Let's save this. Science. God, we need science as well, don't we? All right, let's stick a thermometer on it here. No, actually, let's not stick it there. Let's stick it... Oh, steps! We need steps! Gosh, this is... Okay, right, this is getting quite full, isn't it? We need steps. So, what are we thinking? Something like this. Oops. There we go. Is that something we can grab onto? He should be able to jump up that high. I think that should be okay. Add some LED strips. I'm not sure I can make them coloured lights. Should we make a nice blue? Should we make them a nice blue colour on these lights? Yeah, just light it up nice and blue. I'm going to hope that he can jump up and grab these. Have I got LED strips? Have I? Oh, navigation lights. There we go. Let's get these red and blinking. A firework launcher, but not crucial. No, a firework launcher. I'll worry about the fireworks later on. Okay, so we've got steps, we've got lights. Have we got communication? Did I put an antenna on? I did not put an antenna on, did I? Let's get a nice high gain antenna there. Lovely. Okay. There's a lot going on here. We've got electrical, we've got thermal, ground, aerodynamic. We don't really need that. Okay. Let's retract our landing gear. Okay, so there is our lander. Can he get in? He can get in. If I just move that slightly. Yeah, I'm hoping now he can get in. Okay. Quite narrowly spaced feet. Yeah, it's a crush. It's a crush. Okay, we got thermometer. Did we get a barometer? No, we got multiple thermometers. We only want one thermometer. We only want one barometer for the science. And I think we want a goo, don't we? There's our goo. Maybe the goo could go here. Okay, the goo can go there. Let's put the thermometer also. Let's just put this outside the door so he can easily grab those. Okay. Science Junior. We won't land the Science Junior, I don't think, today. Let's get the flight computer. Okay. Now that, I think, is a lunar lander. Yeah. Okay. Don't think we're missing anything else. That should be that. Okay. Cracking. So we don't have a docking port. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to climb out of their ship, EVA into the lander. Actually, no, they can start off in the lander, can't they? Anyway, they'll have to land it on the moon, do all their science, climb back in, fly it, intercept the mothership, take the science with them, EVA onto the mothership, and then return. Okay. So, Spag Bowl 2, there you go. Okay. Let's get this upside down. Upside down. Right. Let's get a stack separator for this. And now just wondering, how many do we want to take? Do we just take one? I think we'll just take one. No, because we need a scientist, don't we? Do we need a scientist? Actually, I'm not sure we do. So I'm just taking measurements. I'm taking scientific measurements from the surface of the moon. So we probably don't need a scientist. And Why not throw 2 docking ports? Haven't researched them yet, I don't think. Nope, got no docking ports at the moment. Otherwise, I'd happily dock the thing, but that ain't happening. Yeah. So that's why. Valid. Thanks. Hang on, let's see if I can get this. So we'll make this a 1 Kerbal mission. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I see. That'll have to do, won't it? Okay, so let's get that stack separated and put that there. Oh, that'll do. Okay. All right. Have I not got a smaller? I don't have a smaller decoupler than that. No, I don't have a smaller decoupler than that. Okay. All right, fine. This is going to have to be a fairly ugly look. Oh, I'm not happy with that at all. All right, fine. Let's get rid of... If it's not going to look nice, let's just make it grimly functional. There we go. That'll have to do. Okay, so we've got... This is our re-entry pod. This is for getting back to Kerbin. So we're going to need a heat... We're going to need a heat shield. There we go. We're going to need to keep the door nice and clear. We're going to need parachutes. They are usually required. 1 on that side, 1 on that side. Is there anything else we need for the re-entry pod? I'm not sure there is there? Parachutes. Oh, of course, we need autopilot. Possibly. Actually, I'm not sure we do, but we'll have it anyway. There's our autopilot. Autopilot and 2 parachutes. That's fine, isn't it? That's all we really need. Okay. Great. So underneath that, we now need to build our main ship. Okay. So there's our payload. How are we going to get it there? Oh, actually, can I now put a nice sheath around all of this? No, not quite. It's not quite good enough. Hang on, go back. Can I put... Oh, almost. Oh, very close. I tell you what, if I move those legs slightly in... Hang on. If I get these legs and just push them in a tad. Yeah, like that. Put those in there. Yeah, like that, why not? Or mind you, is that going to... when I jettison them, is that going to explode? Yeah, maybe. Still, let's find out. It might be worth actually getting this, just testing it in orbit before we land. Boring but necessary. Oh, for God's sake. Hang on. Boom. Right, okay, fine. Let's get this fairing done. There we go. There we go. Right, good. There's our fairing. Let's make it... What, gold? Okay. Good. So that's our payload. That's our lander and our return pod in that payload. Good. Okay. So let's get the ship. So now we're going to need a small engine here. That can take us home. So that Yeah, that can take us home. That can be our engine for that. Then we need to build another. Oh, that tank's... No, that's fine. Then we need to build another. What would that look like? Okay. What's that? 834. That's not too bad, is it? Okay. So there's our... Oh, are we going to need more than that? Still feels like I need more than that. Okay. What I think I might do... I think I'm going to get some side engines on this and asparagus them. So let's make this another triple. This is probably overkill, but how many times do we want to do this? Okay, and we'll get these engines here. Okay, that's looking a little bit more reliable. We asparagus these in, so these external tanks are feeding into the internal one, and then we will... So that's our we're in space now setup. How do we get ourselves into space? Well, there we go. How do we get ourselves into space? Well, let's couple with there we go. Can we widen this out now? Yeah, let's do that so we can get some nice future problems. Stable balance, no concerns. Yeah, let's get that there, and then we can... Yeah, lovely. Or can we... No, we're not doing that, but we can do that. We'll get a couple of those, and we're going to need... Ooh, the Bobcat liquid fuel engine. What's that? How efficient is that? Gives you more than enough thrust to jump as high as the sky, so we gave you 2. Okay, thrust. Maybe we need slightly... Poodle. Yeah, that's what we need. We need the poodle. Great. Great, fine. Oh, it's a bit too big. Skipper, mid-stage booster. What's that giving us? 966 delta V. Whereas if I put this on, that gives us 866 delta V. And if I put this on, that gives us 851 delta V. So that one really... And if I just do the Terrier, which I could do, that would give us 981 delta V. But that's not going to get us into orbit, is it? Okay, so I think we'll have to go with this. Do we have... Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Oh, look at that. That's a large amount of delta V. Good. So that should hopefully get us into orbit. Now we need to just get off the ground. For that, boosters. So let's go. Let's get a nice decoupler here. Good. And boost our way up. So let's get our giant booster. Is that a giant booster? Oh, it is. Okay, so that's your giant booster there. And let's also side structure this. So we've got some smaller boosters ready to kick off. Okay. Let's get these shifted up, and then let's have a look at our staging. Okay, so we've got boosters 1, 2, 3, 4. Get us off the launch pad. That will continue for 1 minute 3 seconds, and it will get us 1500 into the sky. Not bad at all. Then we open up engine number 2, stage 10, which will hopefully get us into orbit. Then once we're in space, we've then got these engines here, of which we're going to fire all 4 of these. So that's stage 7. That'll give us, yeah, this is going to be more than enough, I think. I think it's going to be more than enough. This should then take us to the moon. And then hopefully there's enough zhuzh in this engine to take us back. That's where the hopefullys kick in. Okay. And we'll sort out the staging for the rest of it when we get there. Okay, well, I'm not sure if this is going to get us to the moon and back, but I've had a guess that it might. Just don't tell the pilot. Valentina had her back broken. I wonder if she's ready to possibly make the ultimate sacrifice. Has her back knitted correctly? Well, let's find out. Okay. Cool. Okay. I think that might be it. Oh yes, fins would be useful. Let's get some of those installed. Let's get a deluxe winglet, shall we? Let's get triple of these. Let's orientate them so they're actually working. And is there room for another winglet? Yeah, let's stick some safety winglets on here as well. Okay. Flashy boosters. They're looking all right, aren't they? They're looking all right. Okay. Is that our moon rocket? Is that our moonshot? It's looking somewhat credible. Okay. We just need a launch tower, and that should be us. Here we go. Yeah, let's have them. Yeah, let's have them tripled. Oh, no, actually. Let's do that. Oh, I should probably get some struts installed as well. Let me just get everything nailed down. We'll just we'll just connect everything together. Make sure everything's not floppy. Lovely. Is that it? Are we good? I think we might be. All right. Now, Valentina. This yes, it feels like, yeah, it's a bit wasted, isn't it? Valentina in the Mark 1 lander can. Yeah, you stay in the can for... No, actually, sod it. Get in the command pod. You can always EVA afterwards. Yeah, get in the command pod, because at least it's facing the right way. So the command pod does have autopilot. Oh gosh, we haven't got an antenna. Oh god, actually that is a really good point. We need an antenna for the return journey. Let's stick that there. Okay. And do we have solar panels? God, we don't have batteries or anything. Oh, hang on. We need batteries here, and we also need solar panels here and here. Why not? Okay. And solar for the pod. Yeah, we absolutely did need that. Thank you. So that's solar for the pod. We've got solar on the lander. We've got solar on this return pod. Probably fine. Okay, excellent. So we've got communications and power. Okay. All right. Now let's go. How are you feeling, Valentina? Nervous? Yeah. Yep, you're going to feel nervous. Right. Craft is too large for the launch pad. Unable to launch. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Does that mean we don't have enough money to upgrade the launch pad? Oh, dear. We don't appear to. Oh, well, we've got two options here. 0 streams. We've got two options here. We could scrub the mission entirely, and we could spend the rest of the stream grubbing around with could spend the rest of the stream grubbing around for money. Hello, Mark Delphig. Hello, Mark Delphig. Thank you very, very much for the follow. Thank you very much. And most importantly, welcome. Thank you very, very much. Massively appreciated. Welcome. Welcome. I'm going to rig it. I'm going to go to our Thailand cryptocurrency billionaire and get him to stop us. Everything's doing all right, except we ran out of money, but don't worry, we'll get that sorted. So we're going to go to our mystery cryptocurrency Thailand billionaire and ask him if he could spot us for a revamp on our launch pad. Where are we? Kerbal Space Program. Saves the stream. There we go. So if I open up the text file of this save file, sell some reputation. I know this is an ugly business doing what I'm doing now, but how much money have we got? 171,431. 171,431. 171,431. There we go. Another 200 grand would be very useful if anyone could see their way to doing that. Landing pad tie. Oh look, we've a little phone call, and we've had a little loan from our benefactor. I'm not proud of myself, but frankly, I just want to get to the moon. So let's not ask any further questions. If it's all right for political parties, it's all right for me. I will honestly try and keep the cheating at a minimum. I am aware, but also I'm also aware that life is short, and so's this stream. Okay, so we've just had a injection of cash from our mystery benefactor for the low price of one drawn out financial investigation, but we'll leave that to the lawyers. We are ready. Is Valentina on board? Yes, she is on board. Right, so here's our beautiful ship. Let's turn the lights on, shall we? Here's our beautiful ship, suspended high Sooner or later, yeah. There's nothing's free in this life. Nothing is free. So here we go. We're on the launch pad. It's looking a little bit modular, I'd say, but I reckon that'll get to the moon and back. What do you think, Valentina? Yes, no? Right. So currently my orientation is wrong. We're piloting this upside down. Oh. Can I not get inside my... Can I not... Oh, shit. All right, back to drawing board, vehicle assembly. Let's control... Oh, I see what's happened. It's because it's controlling it from the upside-down landing can. If I click control from here, control point default. That's interesting. I could always just invert the can. Control point reversed. Let's try that. Make the cockpit the root part. Yeah, that's the thing. The root part is the... Can I do that? Because the root part is the upside down landing can, because that's where I control point default. Oh, control point. Okay. I'll do this for now then. I've reversed the control on the... Oh, top left. Okay. Fourth button next to rotate. That sounds extremely useful. Thank you, Mix. If this doesn't work, I will absolutely do that. Whee! This is working okay, so I'll see. But thank you very, very much. I will bear that in mind for the future. Okay, Valentina, we're now officially pointing upwards. So let's just one last check of our staging. We've got our solid boosters there. Then we get rid of the side ones. Then we get rid of the top one. Then we fire engine number 1 until we're in orbit. And then we fire all of these engines, and then we ditch those side engines, ditch that engine, and then we re-enter. Are the mods easy to manage? Reasonably. So you can get a mod manager. I have actually got a mod manager. Can't remember what it's called. Hang on, if I type in mod. No, mod organizer. I do have a mod manager for Kerbal, but if you don't want to use that, so what you want to do is, if you've installed it on Steam, by the way, this is assuming it's more or less the same for a Mac, by the way. In a Mac, these files are in the library. CCAN, that's it. Thank you very much, Mix. That's it. So CCAN is a mod manager you can use. If you want to do it manually, if you're on a PC, go and you're on Steam, go into Steam Apps Common, which is where all of your Steam data is stored. Go to Steam Apps Common Kerbal Space Program. If you're on a Mac, it's in the library. I know that the Mac has 2 different bloody libraries, one depending on whether your user library or your root library. I can't remember which one it is, but it's in there. I'm on a PC, so I'm just looking at this. And then once you're in the Kerbal Space Program directory, you've got a directory called Saves. That's where your saves are kept, and you've got game data. Game data is where you pretty much want to put your mods, and so I'm looking in my game data. I've just got loads of folders in here that are literally just copied from the mods and pasted in. Mods, when you download a mod, it will usually have folders within the mod that say game data, resources. What I do is, anything that's in the game data folder, I copy that into my game data folder. Anything that's in the resources folder, I copy that into my resources folder. So I tend to just... But mod manager is almost certainly the correct answer to all of this. But yes, all this stuff is kept in your Steam Apps Common folder, and you can bugger around with that. The save files, obviously when I talk about this billionaire, the save files are actually stored as just raw text. So the game is extremely easy to add more money to resurrect Kerbals and all of that stuff. So that's where that's all kept. Right, here we go. That's given Valentina time to acclimatise. Well, we might as well just go, mightn't we? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kablooey, and up she goes. All right, so it's straight. It's fairly straight. I'm probably not going to try and incline this until we're well above 10,000. So it's lifting off despite the boosters. It's not tearing off the launch pad. It is a heavy ship. Slightly underpowered. I would normally have a bit more of a Saturn V-ish rocket. I think ideally we should have unlocked more parts before going to the moon, but I'm quite curious to see if we can do it with what we've got here. I should have put lights on it. I should have put lights on the main body of the craft. I've got lights on the lander, but I don't have lights on the main craft itself. That's a shame. All right, okay, so it's nearly time to lose these boosters, and off they go. Don't hit on the way down. Lovely. So all three of those boosters are now dropping like high incendiary bombs towards the space center, and there goes our last booster. Now this is enough to get us into space, so let's ditch that booster. Off it goes. Let's get ourselves now. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, I've reversed the controls on this because it was the route was upside down. Interestingly, my compass is inverted. It's not the end of the world, but it's a bit strange. I should definitely have done it the other way. Oh well. So let's get ourselves pointing towards the 90 degrees. We're nearly in space. Another 2,000 meters and we'll be in space. And fire it up. Off we go. Let's get into orbit. And then when we're in orbit, we will deploy our shroud. Valentina's got a terrible view at the moment. All she can see, I think, is the inside of the fairing. Yeah, that's her view at the moment. Just the inside of the protective fairing. So she really does have... She's probably the person with least idea of what is actually going on. Okay, so we are still... this orbit is failing. This orbit is failing. This engine does not have enough oomph to get us into orbit. Yeah, we're about to reach our apoapsis. Yeah. Not good enough. Not good enough. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, we're now at our apoapsis. We are now officially falling back towards the ground. Can we front this out? If I just keep going in this direction, can we salvage this? This is not an efficient orbit. So we are currently, you can see, there we are. We've passed our peak and we are now very much... This isn't salvageable, is it? This is underpowered. So the question is, do we need... We need more power. Let's go back. Let's revert the flight. Go back to vehicle assembly. We're going to need some bigger boosters, I reckon. We can get into orbit as long as we can get high enough. So let's lose these boosters. and get some bigger ones. More boosters, as they say. Okay. There we go. That should be... What a waste of sandwiches. Yeah. It's right. No, we've rewound time, so those sandwiches have been unmunched. It's all right. Okay, so let's get... Oh, should we give these pointy... No, let's not give them pointies. No, we're going to need... Oh, yeah, that's nice and phallic, isn't it? Oh, no, that does intersect with the... That does intersect. What about... Oh, there we go. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Little pointy pencils. Excellent. Okay, let's get these nice and rigid. Now, that's the boosters. Is there an argument? Yes. For adding more power to this section. Let's have a look. What about some of those nice sideways engines? Do we have... No. Maybe the boosters are enough. Maybe the boosters are enough. Let's find out. It'll take us up a lot higher and it will give us a lot more time to get up to speed. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so attempt number... There we go. Attempt number 2. Let's see how high this can get us. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Moosaurus. Yes, I am taking a break from Crusader Kings until there's some more DLC out. Sadly, the last Crusader Kings game broke. We were too successful. The Empire was too vast, and the game's broken. It can't do any more calculations. It's just basically running at an unbearable cruel.
He thinks the game is cruel. I've heard the game explained as many things, described in different ways. I've never heard anyone say it's cruel. What made you marry a wimp?
I said it was cruel. It was down to a crawl, Noel. Yeah, so I'm really upset by it because obviously it was going fantastically well, but we've had to just abandon it because of too much bloody success. Oh, the new Forza. I've got Grand what's it called on the PlayStation. That's my one. When I fancy racing some cars around, I'll do that. The only problem with racing games I've got is you have to memorise the courses. I do like memorising the courses, but you get nowhere unless you time trial these courses 20, 30 times before racing. And I do like getting into that zone of becoming one with the course and knowing all its twists and turns. But here we go. I'll get rid of these boosters. But it does take up a lot of time. Getting good. So I tend to play racing games as a kind of quick burst of fun, but then end up becoming obsessed with racing lines and braking distances and stuff and get sucked in. Okay, so we're 3 minutes away from our apoapsis now, which should be a bit kinder. So we get to go sideways a bit longer before we start falling. All right, let's go. Hit it, Johnny. Off we go. So goodbye, boosters. They will be going straight back down onto the heads of our colleagues. Meanwhile, let's get this orbit circularized. So, time to apoapsis. You can see here, that is now ticking down. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. We don't want that to... Gran Turismo 7. It made me cry on my birthday. I was by myself on my birthday. Oh, fine, I love being by myself on my birthday. But I was just sort of sat around, and I just randomly turned on Gran Turismo 7, and all the little avatars went, "Hello, Eddie. Oh, happy birthday, Eddie. Look, we've got together and made you a cake." And there was a cake. The little NPCs inside the game had given me a cake for my birthday. And it caught me at a slightly weak point, and I felt my throat go all tight, and I felt tears form because they'd remembered. The little NPCs in the Gran Turismo cafe had remembered and made me a cake. It was lovely. It was a lovely little moment. I wasn't expecting it. So, yeah. Then I played it for 10 minutes and got bored, obviously, but I was touched. It's like Animal Crossing. So we don't want this to get to 0, because once this gets to 0, we have reached our apoapsis and we are falling. It's counting down pretty steadily towards 0. So here we are. We're trying to extend this orbit out. You can see that it is extending, but you can also see that we're reaching our apoapsis at an increasing rate. Once we reach there, we really do want this orbit to be pretty much sorted. Whether or not that's going to happen, I honestly don't know. We've got 58 seconds until we reach the apoapsis, apparently. And it doesn't seem like it's slowing up. This is a very puny engine, but a very fuel-efficient one. Once you're out of the atmosphere, ideally, you want your engines to be as puny as possible, to be as low power as possible. The problem is that you do need oomph to get into orbit. Once you're actually out in space itself, it doesn't really particularly matter how much oomph your engines have. But while we're trying to get into orbit, obviously we are fighting gravity and the spherical nature of planets. 25 seconds until apoapsis. Yeah, I'm not sure about this at all. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we're now dropping. We're now past our highest point and we are now dropping. Now, I'm just going to pitch down. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm going to pitch down 20 degrees and see if I can force this orbit to be circular. I don't think so. So these were the engines I was hoping not to burn until we were on our way to the moon. I'm burning them now and I'm worried about our fuel, but okay. We are where we are. We should be able to rescue our orbit. In fact, that does look like our orbit is being rescued. So let's pitch it down a little bit more. Plenty. That's fine. Oh, look, if we have to rescue Valentina, then we'll have to rescue her. We should get to the moon at least. That's the main event. So as I say, this central engine, because of the way that the fuel lines are asparagus, oh brilliant! Oh, we'll be fine then. No worries. Because the way that the fuel is asparagus, this central tank is staying full. Hang on, let me just. This orbit's nearly done. Oh no, it's still periapsine. Okay. Well, it's going to be quite an elliptical orbit, isn't it? Oh well. Really is quite an imperfect orbit. Might have to use... Okay, that is a nightmare orbit. Look at that. That's not circular. That is rubbish. Okay. Oh, mind you, that's not too bad because we can use that increased... Oh, actually, that's not too bad. The moon's going to be over here, so we can use our excess apoapsis to get there. Actually, that's fine. I could have planned that and that would have been all about right. Good. Right. Valentina, you are now officially in orbit. Congratulations. Now is a good time. Let's blow the fairing. Let's get this protective shell gone. Should we do a countdown for that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's that. There we go. Beautiful. And that reveals our beautiful ship. There's our blue light. Oh, I've got my blue light there. Very nice. Little bit of blue illumination. We've got our racing green. Hey, Mr. MG. Way! Welcome back. Hello. I hope you're doing very, very well. Thank you for the subscription. Amazing. Brilliant. Thank you. Massively appreciated. Good. I hope everything is excellent with you and yours. Lovely stuff. Oh. I cut it off. That's enough. There we go. Right, so we are in orbit. Okay, so Valentina, let's get... Is there anything else we need? Oh, we should probably extend the antenna, shouldn't we? Let's get that antenna extended. Whoop. There we go. Great. Let's get our next burn planned. So if I went to the periapsis here and we just go out. Oh, hang on. Let's target the moon. Set as target. Let's get this going out this way. Lovely. Good. Oh, that'll do. That'll do for now. Sod it. Okay. Hello, Caroline. Hello, kids. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Mr. MG. I hope you're all excellent. This is what I do now. This is what I do instead of working. This is my life. Cool. Right. So let's... There we go. That's going to get us crashing into the moon. Let's ease off that a little bit. And there we go. Lovely stuff. Good. Let's get Valentina's nose pointed in the right direction and we will burn our way to the moon in 3 minutes. All right. Burn time is 1 minute, so we want to start the burn about 30 seconds from the node. Right, Valentina, you got 3 minutes. If you've got a wee, you know, if you need a wee or a very quick poo, there's just about time. But honestly, Valentina, I would stay where you are for the next 3 minutes and just enjoy the sights. What can she see out of her window?
Drink now, or you can wait until later.
Yeah, it's a good idea, actually, Valentina. Probably best to hydrate. Oh, she can look at that. That's a nice dreamy view. She can stare out and look at that. Great. Okay. 2 minutes 45 seconds. Right. Let's go. Right. So we're going round to the night side of the planet. Right, we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignite. Okay, so we'll keep our nose pointing in the right direction. There's our destination right there. That is where we are heading. Okay, let's switch to this view. So now we can see that this orbit is growing out. Obviously, we're at this side of the orbit. Whenever you thrust in an orbit, pardon, the opposite end will expand out. So let's get our apoapsis up to the same height as the moon. Here we go. Let's slow it down a little. And 2, 1, 0. Okay. Right. What's happening then? So that's us set. Right. What we're going to want is we're going to want to get as low as we can, really. Oof. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to about 10,000 meters above the surface. The closer we can swing... Yeah, that'll do. The closer we can swing by the moon, the less effort it's going to be to get there. There we go. So we are now on a course to escape Kerbin's orbit, to enter the moon's orbit, and to come within 8,000 meters of the surface on the dark side of the moon, a bit annoyingly. And then once we're here, we're going to fire our retros, and it will put us in, as you can see here. Whoop, there we go. And that will put us into a lovely... Oh, that's going to require... Yeah, all right. Okay, and then that will put us into a nice tight orbit of the moon, which will reduce the amount of thrust that we're going to need to get off it again. Okay, so that's the plan. That is the plan. Valentina, you've got 1 day to prepare for this. So, well, you can have that poo now. How are you feeling about all of this, Valentina?
All I know is my gut says maybe.
Okay, good to know. All right, so we should have...
No, pardon.
No! Here comes the sunrise. Whee! Over Kerbin as Kerbin shrinks into the distance, and the moon itself gets closer and closer. Now, we are going to get very, very close to the moon indeed. I wonder what's going on with our science. We've taken all the science, really, haven't we? Oh, I'll worry about the science once we're landed. We should get enough of it from landing. Okay, so here we come. We can see the moon is ahead of us, and it's getting closer. Kerbin is getting... Oh, Christ, I don't know where Kerbin is now. But here it comes. We've got 2 hours till we get there. 2 hours till we get there. 1.5. All right, we are now in the moon's gravitational influence. So we are now officially in orbit of... Well, not in orbit. We're officially flying past the moon. Let's do a quick... Can we do a crew report, Valentina? Oh, are you actually able to get out of the thing? EVA currently unavailable. Have I blocked the door? I think I might have blocked the door. Is this mission scrubbed? No, it's not. Oh, thank God for that. Oh, I thought I'd blocked the door. Good, good, good. Don't worry, Valentina, we're all professionals. Good. So she can actually escape from the craft. Okay, that's good. Fine, you can get back in now. Just checking. Thanks. Right, where are we? Okay, yeah, let's get closer to the moon. So here we come. Here it is. Here's our destination. Here's where we will be hopefully landing soon. In 15 minutes' time.
I'm escaping to the one place
One
that
place.
hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
And where would that be?
Space!
Ah! Right, here we are. We're over the night side of the moon again. I do like to keep things as dark and murky on this stream as possible. Our altimeter is ticking down. We're actually going to get very, very close to the moon's surface indeed. We're going to get about 8,000 meters from the surface, which might actually genuinely be dangerous. I don't think there are any mountains on the moon that go higher than 7,000, but well, I'm not that sure. Okay, there we go. We have now, well, you can't actually see the surface because we're on the night side. Sorry about that. But we are now ready to circularize our orbit. So let's get going with that. We'll just hit retro. I did slightly miss my node time, by the way, but there we go. And hit it. Off we go. Okay. So now our orbit is circularizing. There, in fact, there you go. There you go. That's circularizing at quite a rate, isn't it? Blimey. There we go. Well, that's that engine done. Okay, so now we've used up all the fuel in our 3 supplementary engines. So now I'm going to jettison those. Off they go. Farewell. And what we've got here, we've got a lovely full tank. We drained, with asparagus staging, we drained all the fuel out of our supplementary engines, and now we have this one solid thrusty thruster full of juice and ready to go. Nice and efficient. Right, let's carry on. Let's carry on finishing this orbit off. So what do we want? We want the apoapsis to be about 10,000, don't we? Let's have a look. No, okay, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, that's fine. My periapsis is now way too low. Okay, that's fine. Oh, actually, this is a landing mission. This is a landing mission. Now, this is interesting. So that burn I've just done is sending me into the ground. Now, what I'm thinking is, why don't I use that? Why don't I now, while we're here, why don't we detach and land here? This looks like a pretty good landing spot, to be honest with you. Valentina, okay, firstly, where are you? Okay, can we just stop the spinning because it's making me feel sick? Thanks. Right, where are you? EVA for me, please. Right, so you're here. Splursh. That's for later on. Okay, so let go of the ship. Yeah, turn your lights on. Cheers. Right, you get yourself into the lunar lander. We haven't invented docking ports yet, so this really is the only way we can do that. Can we find the door on the lunar lander? And is the door blocked? I possibly should have checked that the door wasn't blocked before we got on, but okay. Right, here we go. Here's the door. See if we can grab onto it and get inside. Here she comes. Nice and yeah. I mean, there is a time element on this. We are, just to let you know, Valentina, we are literally at this exact moment headed towards impacting the ground. So time is of the essence. Okay. There we go. Let's lit that up. That looks lovely. Okay, so here's the mothership. This is going to stay in orbit. And here is the lander. Now, we are currently headed for a crash. We're currently headed to go all the way around here, an apoapsis of 29,000 metres, and then crashing into here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach the lunar lander that Valentina is in, and that lunar lander can continue following that trajectory. But we will switch to the autopiloted mothership, which will get itself out of trouble. So, Valentina, are you ready to separate? I'll take that as a yes. Let's decouple the landing module. Eagle, off you go. There we go. So now we've detached that. And that's flying off. Okay, fine. Oh, look, there's Kerbin. So let's open the antenna before we detach. Yeah, good point. Extend antenna. There we go. Right. So the mothership is currently scheduled to smash into the moon. Let's stop that happening with a bit of thrust in the other direction. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Right, good. So the mothership is now orbiting. There you go. There's the lunar lander there, just going into the distance. You meant for the mothership, but we did. Oh, cool. So we've now abandoned the lunar lander. We've now picked up a bit of speed. We're going faster than the lunar lander. We are now in a stable orbit. So this is the path that we're going to have to, when we come back from the surface, we're going to have to intercept this blue path and meet up with the ship there. So that's the mothership in orbit. Done. Let's focus on the task at hand. So Valentina is currently heading towards the surface of the moon. We're going to land on the light side? Yeah, okay, let's keep it light. Great. Well, let's speed up. Let's save first. Let's speed up time. Let's get the sun coming up so we can actually see what we're doing. We're still at our apoapsis. Now we're heading towards the lunar surface. Okay. And here's the sun. And now we're 20,000 metres up. Okay, so we can see a bit more of the surface. Now, ultimately... Oh, gosh, my controls are inverted. Let's uninvert these controls. Control point reversed. There we go. Oh, that's better. That's making a lot more sense. Okay, good. So if we point retrograde, there we go. You can see that we're now pointing the opposite. Oh, hang on. Stable. Actually, yeah, just do that. Good. We are now pointing in the opposite direction to our direction of travel. Ready to slow down. Obviously, we're now heading towards the moon. Well, we're heading down. We're also heading at quite a nasty angle. What I'm thinking of doing, maybe when we're over here, we'll fire our retros and stop ourselves moving laterally and start... Well, we'll slow down our lateral movement and concentrate on the vertical. Let's activate these engines now, shall we? Okay, so let's get to about 5,000 metres and start looking for a decent landing spot. Are you excited, Valentina? Well, I'm excited. We're in space near the moon. Do you fancy a quick EVA? Want to get a quick bit of science done while we're here? EVA report? No, we've already... Oh, it's been done. It's been done. Okay, fine. Okay, so we're 14,000 metres and we're getting a nice, good, clear view of the surface. That wouldn't be bad. I think we're going to fly way over that. Maybe that wouldn't be bad. Are we... How many more? Oh, no, we've still got a way to go. Okay, so we're going to be flying over... All right, yeah, okay, so we want to fly over the horizon, and allegedly there's a good landing spot past the horizon. I've got regrets that I'm not trying to land here, but well, let's have faith. It's exciting, isn't it, Valentina? We haven't quite got the technology That's facing the wrong way. That's just pointing straight into the ground. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so we're 10,000 metres and... Well, sorry, 11,000 metres and falling. It would be good now to look for a decent landing spot. So I guess we're looking at over here maybe. Oh, let's get my surface rather than sea level. Let's get it on the surface. So I think we're looking at landing somewhere around here. Yeah. Okay. So we want to avoid this crater as much as we can. Try not to land in there. So maybe around about here's good. Yeah. Okay. So we're currently doing 547 metres per second above the surface. We need to bring our speed down. And we'll do that. I think after this crater we'll do that. Okay, are you ready to fire then? Are you ready, Valentina? Okay. After this crater, we'll go. We're 5,000 metres above the ground, so we're leaving it a little bit late. Okay, well, we're going to be 4,000 by the time you fire. Okay, Valentina, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fire. Oh, that speed's coming down. Lovely. Look at that. Oh, there we go. 300 metres per second, 200 metres per second, 195 metres per second. Okay, now if we just very gently keep on hitting retro, our retrograde will creep up north, at which point we are hovering. There we go. We are now at 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, we are now essentially hovering above the lunar surface. Let's get our landing gear deployed. Please deploy landing gear, Valentina. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so we are now dropping. Our landing site's looking okay. We're hopefully going to miss this crater. I don't think I need to give it another zhuzh. I think we're okay. All right. So I want this to come down nice and gently. So we're just going to drop like a stone for now, Valentina, until we get to about 1,000, and then we'll start moderating our descent. There's quite a few rocks here that we don't want to land on. We're dropping at 75, 80 metres per second. So let's kill off that speed, shall we? That's it. That's it. Nice and gentle. 60 metres per second, 50, 40, 30, 20. Okay, a nice sedate. Let's keep it underneath 10. Let's just keep our thrusters going. We don't want to go too fast and accidentally start going up again. But let's just keep. Oh, we are going to land on a bit of an inclination, I think. It looked flatter from up than it does close up, but here we are. All right, we're going at a nice steady 6 metres per second. Can we? Okay, we're about to impact the surf. Contact light very soon. 1 metre per second. That is a good rate of descent. 1.3 metres per second. Here we go. And I think we are about to touch. Oh, I've done it. Oh, okay. A little bit of hovering and contact light. Cut the engine. Oh, shit. No, don't cut the engines. Right, we are travelling a bit. Oh, God. Okay. Down, down, down. Oh! Hooray! We landed on the moon. Hooray, hooray, hooray. There we go. There we go. That's a lunar landing. And we've still got a little bit of fuel in these tanks. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Right, now we're going to need some science. Let's take a temperature reading from the surface of the moon. Let's take a barometer Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's get that mystery goo observed. Beautiful. Was there anything else? 3 sciences and some goo. Yeah, I didn't bring the science thing with me, did I? So that's fine. Okay, great. Crew report, please. Do you want to overwrite the existing one? Yep. Crew report from the moon's Midlands. Oh, and we can transmit that for absolutely no penalty. No usable comms devices available. Oh, is this because is Kerbin not? Oh, we don't have a line of sight with Kerbin, so we can't transmit that. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. That'll happen. Right, Valentina. Where are you? Oh, right, you can't... Oh, you've got a terrible view. Did I just put an engine right outside your window? So she has seen absolutely nothing so far. That's been her view this entire time. I'm sorry about that. Prefer TSB. The bank that likes to say yes. Right, good. Time for an EVA, I would have thought then, Valentina. The first Kerbal on the moon. Oh, shh. Okay, I don't like the way that this is tilting. Okay. So, Valentina, this is one small step for a Kerbal, one giant leap for Eddie's Purple Arcade, streaming every day from 10 till 2 UK time. Space let go. All right, Valentina, with dignity and poise, I would like you to descend. There we go. One last step and make history. Ouch. It's all right. She's okay. It's okay. I mean, that is a moment that will be replayed forever. Her falling off the ladder and hitting her head, but she made a recovery, so that's all right. You all right? Hey! She's well happy. Give us a jump. Woo! Hey! Whee! Having the time of her life. Fantastic. Well done. We don't know if we're able to get her back, but well, she's having fun. Whee! Good stuff. Lovely. Right. Well, better plant a flag. There we go. Woof. There we go. We've got our Brexit space agency. Valentina's landing. One small step. There we go. The moon is ours. Brexit opening up new, exciting Brexit markets. There we go. Lovely. Could you take a soil sample? Take surface sample. Yeah, you keep that. Lovely. Okay. EVA report. You look up and search the sky for Kerbin. Suddenly you feel very small. Well, there we go. That's an EVA on the moon. Just have a little... Should we get the thrusters working? There we go. Oh, yeah, good. The rocket thrusters work fine on the moon. So we've landed... Yeah, we've landed just on the edge of this crater. If we go up a bit higher, we can see... It's funny, isn't it? It did look flat. It looked flat from the ground. Don't go up too high, by the way. It looked quite flat from the ground, but yeah, that crater is... There it is. Whoa! That's a big crater. Maybe she can get... Can we get her standing on the edge of it, sort of looking down? So, yeah, some fairly decent piloting there. Oh, God, I've lost the ship. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Oh, Christ. Oh, there it is. God, that does look small. Here we go. Get your thrusts. Try and kill that speed. Oh, oof, oof, oof. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, don't fall in. Don't fall. Okay, she's falling. She's falling down. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, Christ. Fenton. Fenton. Oh, Christ. Fenton! Oh, Jesus Christ! Fenton! Oof, oof. Yeah, all this is being broadcast to the audience at home. Fenton! Oh, Christ! Oh! You know, sometimes, Michael, I think, what have I done? Christ, what have I done?
That was a disaster. Should never have put me up with that woman. Whose idea was that?
8 metres per second. Oh, my God. She might die. Oh, my God. Oof. These are some... Yeah, she's... Oh, that's a big one. That's a big bounce. Oh, she's okay. She is gaining speed at an... Oof, that looks painful. She is gaining speed at an alarming rate, and I'm genuinely not sure if she's got enough thrust to escape. Okay, we do seem to be coming to a standstill now. Oof, 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 oof. Oh. Right.
Right.
Valentina? Valentina? She's not great. Don't dive into lunar craters. Yeah, I mean, I assume the helmet is intact. Valentina? It might just be embarrassment. As I say, this has all been streamed live to the Kerbal equivalent of BBC One. Record viewing figures. Valentina? I can see your mouth moving. I think she's just embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed, Valentina. You're still on the moon. Look. Ah, see? There you go. He didn't even reach the bottom. Well, so that was her attempt to have a look at the crater, which... well, we've had a look at that now. Okay, take a surface sample. No, you're all right. Better get home then. Better get home. How's this magnificent desolation? Is the albedo high enough to reflect some light? Yes, I think it is. How parallel are those shadows? Not at all parallel. Good. Just as it should be. Okay. Oh, that's a steep slope. All right, Valentina. Well, we could walk. We could walk. Yeah, that's one possible. Oh, okay. No, she's fallen over again. All right, we're going to... Yeah. No, don't roll. Don't roll. Okay. All right, we're going to have to do this. Gives lots of XP. Excellent. Let's get her airborne. All right, so... Actually, where is the ship? I think the ship's this way, isn't it? I think. Can we even do it mid-mission? Okay. I'll do that. Now, where's this ship? Where did I park? No, seriously, where did I park? Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God, that hurt. I'm really sorry. I was not. Oh my God. Oh, I see it. I can see the ship, Valentina. It's there. It's over there. She's having the time of her life. Come on. Stop mucking about. There we go. I could have gone to the map, but I was hoping to eyeball it. There it is. There it is. All right. Let's get ourselves back, shall we? Mission complete and all that. Back we go. There's the flag. The moon's still ours. The moon is still our property. Don't you worry. Okay. It's a nice racing green on that ship, isn't it? I do like it. Okay. Right. Good. Bruised and battered, but... Oh, God, there's a few more. Tell you what, those helmets are getting a... Those helmets are getting a bashing, aren't they?
Oh, pardon.
Helmets. Okay. Let's get you back inside. Let's get you home. We'll upgrade that Astro Complex once we're inside as well, so she'll have it'll be a nice surprise for her when she gets back. Right, okay, I know I built stairs, but there we go. Let's get you inside. Hooray! She made it. Good. Oh, that was a bit worrying. I thought she might die. Good. Now, can we see... No, we don't have a line of sight of Kerbin, do we? So we can't transmit this information. Is there anything left, Valentina, for us to consider? I didn't use my RCS fuel. I just sort of brought it with me and not used it. We've got almost no fuel left in these tanks. So as soon as we take off... we're going to have to jettison them. Okay, so now the not inconsiderable task of connecting with the mothership. In fact, here's the mothership. It's on the other side of the moon. So let's speed up time a little so that the mothership will be more or less kind of sort of overhead when we take off. So here we are. And here comes the mothership. Let's go about here. I might have left that a bit late. Okay, I think I have left that a bit late. So let's take off now, Valentina. Say goodbye to the moon. I'm sure we'll be back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. And we haven't got stability control on. Now, jettison those tanks. There we go. Retract the landing gear. There we go. Okay. We're up. Goodbye, moon. We will be back soon. Okay. 12,000 meters we're due to be heading up. So we're heading up at quite a rate. Let's set this as our target. So what's that? That's an altitude of 28. So we're going to need to go a bit faster than that. Okay. Let's get our altitude up to 28 and then see where it takes us. 6, 7, 8. Okay. So our apoapsis is now... we've got 3 minutes till our apoapsis and it's scheduled to be... Oh, that explosion, I think, was our little engines being jettisoned. Okay. Ah, look, we can see here. There we go. Look, we can see here. We are actually, excitingly... on course to intercept them. That's great. Okay, so where are they? Where are you? Let's be having you. Here we go. So are they within visual range? Yeah, they're just ahead of us. Why can't I see them on Why can't I see them? Are they over the horizon or what? Oh, there they are. Got them. Right, 14 kilometres away, is that all? And they're heading away from us. Right, we need to catch up with them. Fine. Let's do that then. Okay, so now we are heading directly towards them. My prograde and my target reticle, you can see them here, are lined up. We are heading towards them, but we are heading towards them extremely fast. So, and we've not quite. We've only got the chase is on, and also I've only got just about enough delta V to slow this down. So this is kind of a one pop shot, really. I've got 234 meters per second delta V, and we're travelling at 209 meters per second towards them. So this is going to be tight. Okay. So I'm thrusting the retros now. Ooh, pardon. We're closing on them fairly quickly. We're now heading towards them. Oh, do RSS? Yes, thank you. I forgot about my precious thrusters that I yeah, there they are. Whee! Oh gosh, yes. I forgot about those. Yeah, I installed thrusters. Look, wee, woo, wee. I installed them and packed fuel for them, and I've just not used them. So let's use them for this, shall we? So we're closing in. They're 1.8 kilometres away. Let's get ourselves parked next to them. Here we go. 45. Okay, so they're getting quite... They're 600 metres away. We are slowing down. You can see the mothership now. Let's slow down quicker, shall we? Okay. Oh Christ! We're coming up on that fast. Oh shit! Bollocks! I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Right. Reverse thrust. Reverse thrust. Reverse thrust. Reverse thrust. Sorry, I accidentally put the engines on full power just then. Let's get this. Get this parked. There we go. There we go. That's us intercepting the mothership. Right, Valentina. Normally, obviously, it'd be a good idea to dock, but we don't have any docking facilities on this ship. So, it's going to have to be an EVA. Could you make sure that you get all the data from the take data? There we go. There we go. We've got our EVA report, our crew report, and our surface sample. Do we not have the other ones? The temperature and stuff. Oh, we've just hit... Shit, we've just hit the mothership. That was such an accurate interception. I've actually just crashed into the mothership. Yeah, the goo. What's happened if the goo? Collect data. Fine. Take data. Fine. I thought I'd already done this. Anyway, take data. Fine. All right. Okay, good. And we've got 6 experiments. That's about right. Hopefully we haven't damaged the mothership when we crashed into it. Although, again, I am very, very pleased that my interception was so good. Right. It's time, I think, to abandon our faithful landing craft. Valentina, time to let go. Thank you very much, landing craft. Thank you, Odyssey. You were a good ship, and that will now be orbiting the moon for the rest of its days, or until I delete it. Meanwhile, Valentina, you need to get back to Kerbin. So let's get you into that door. Do try and avoid the antenna if you can. Thank you very much. I'm quite pleased with myself. Let's get you... Actually, where is it? Where is this door? Is there a door? Yes, there is. Okay, thank Christ for that. Okay. Pentan. Pentan. Oh, Christ. Pentan. Okay. B for board. F for grab. B for board. Right, she's on. She's in the return ship. Lovely stuff. All right then. Well, farewell, landing craft. Sadly orbiting the moon forever, but we are heading away from here and we are heading back towards here. So let's get that journey calculated. All right.
But you've asked me to do it, so I'll do it.
Let's add the manoeuvre here. So we want to escape, don't we? We want to escape. Yeah. Oh, I see. I see. That's pretty good, actually. We could burn. Yeah, we could burn all the way into Kerbin's atmosphere just by this one manoeuvre in 38 seconds. Oh, Christ. Okay, so let's try. Woof. Okay, so we've got a manoeuvre lined up, Valentina. You're going to have to do it right now, though. Turns out that's the best way. Yeah, just point at where you want to go and hit thrust. I think that's probably the easiest way to do this. Okay, you ready? You all pointed. Okay. Farewell, lunar lander. We are off home and go. See you later, lunar lander. Thanks. Bye. Bye. Right, we are off. We are heading home. And she's got more than enough fuel, which is great news. Bye-bye, lunar lander. Bye-bye, moon. We are heading down, I've noticed. Oh, good. No, we're heading up again. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Right. I think all we need to do now is just cut off these engines. 10, 9, 8, 10, done. How's that? Is that enough to take us home? It is more than enough to take us home. Excellent. Good. So that's, I think, Valentina, I think that is almost everything you're going to need to do on this. We are heading away from the moon. 867 meters per second. We're heading away for the moon and we are heading for Kerbin. So let's speed up time. Take any pictures now while you've still got the chance. Although, as I say, we will be back. All right, let's say farewell, moon. Farewell, moon, and hello. Give me a sec. Come on. Bugger off, moon. There we go. Goodbye, moon. We are now out of the moon's gravitational influence and we are now heading towards Kerbin. Now, are we heading to... Yes, we are heading to... we are coming in too steep. So let's just make this orbit a little bit. Let's make our periapsis about 30,000. There we go. So our periapsis coming back into Kerbin is going to be about 35,000. There we go. 35,000 is our periapsis. That should... So what that means is we're going to be coming in a little bit shallow. Theoretically, but not practically. We're just going to go into the atmosphere. We're not actually scheduled to impact of the ground, but the atmosphere will slow us down enough to bring us the rest of the way. But if I was heading towards the ground, there'd be a very good chance of be going through the atmosphere too quickly and we would burn. But as it is, I think, Valentina, with an extra load of fuel and an extra engine on board, I think we can fairly safely say that we could probably use this ship to get us to Minmus as well. This has been over-engineered for a trip to the moon, so we can reuse it later. Anyway, next stop, Kerbin, Valentina. How long's that going to be, by the way? That's going to be 3 hours. So again, I don't want our communications to be solely based around poo, but if you do need a poo, have it now. Right, well, because you want to be comfortable, don't you? I could go on. Okay, so we are now back in our blue marble, having seen the glorious devastation, the wilderness that is the moon. It enough makes the Kerbals appreciate the beautiful spaceship that they already inhabit. What's that, Valentina? Too much fucking perspective. Yeah. Okay, and so with that, well, we might as well burn up all of our engines then. If we've got engines to burn, we might as well use them. Fine. Just burn away, Valentina. Let's get this ship as slow as possible. Oh, there is a lot of fuel. There really was too much fuel on this ship and not enough lights. We're going to land at night, which is a bit of a shame, but we're committed to the bit now, so yeah, I'm not sure how good an idea this is. Might be worth just jettisoning the engines altogether and just raw dogging it. Oh, yeah. Okay, there goes the antenna. Well, hey! Kaboom. Kaboom. Thank you so much for the follow, CSS Postal. Thank you very much. And can I also... So I'm still watching this, by the way. Can I also say welcome? Welcome.
Fred's got plenty. Arthur's got plenty. We've all got plenty.
Is this because she's about to become bacon?
My wife's got what it takes.
Valentina may very soon be resembling British pork if we don't get this speed down. I definitely should have abandoned the engines by now, but I'm kind of curious to see how hot this can get. Thank you very much. We're doing all right. Our surface speed has come down, and we've still got another engine to burn. Get those hydrocarbons released into the atmosphere before we land. That's what I say. We do appear to be heading towards an inky black void. I don't know if that's land or sea. I guess, again, one way to find out. Okay, is this engine nearly expired? Oh, we've lost stability. There goes our precious stability. Let's get that engine farted on. Goodbye. There it goes. And now we've got this little dinky engine here. We'll just let that play out because it's adorable. There we go. We're still... Oh, there we go. We're probably going to be landing on land. I can sort of vaguely see some land. Yeah, we had so much excess fuel on board. That's a learning experience right there. Anyway, let's burn off the rest of this engine if we can, for shits and giggles. What's that? Surface 200 meters per second. Good. So we are well within parachute range. Let's just see if we can... Actually, can we land it? Does this engine have enough thrust that we can land? Can we power land it? Yes, exactly. TWR. Oh, I don't need to check anything. We'll just do it by eye. Well, there we go. That's now hovering above the surface. So what should we say? Should we get to... Oh, it is dropping quite quickly, isn't it? Should we get to 6,000 feet and then go for it? Here we go. 6,000 feet, full power. No, I'm not sure. It's interesting, this. Yeah, there's a lot of... Don't breathe in, Valentina, for God's sake. Pure carcinogen. Getting into a filtration system. $50 meters per second and falling. Let's just unthrust it, shall we? Let's get this down to 2,500 meters. Might need those chutes. I know. I'm wondering about this. I want to oh God, here we go. 1,000, we'll need them. Yeah, you're probably right. 13, 12, 11, 10. Like, yeah, we're going to need them. Oh, all right, fine. Fine. Goodbye, engine. Yeah, that would have been us. That would have been us. And that would have been us there. Yeah. Okay. But, you know, if you don't use all the fuel that you're budgeted for, they're just going to give you less fuel next time. Good. Well, anyway, she is on her way down. There we go. And here we are. 20 meters, 10 meters, thump. Oof, Christ. That could be a nicer landing, couldn't it? Nice one, Valentina. You did it. Do you want a quick EVA while we're here? Yep. Oh, God. The old spinal problems have come back. I think that impact on the ground may have misaligned her spine again. It was a mainly blue tack based repair last time. So are you capable? Are you all right? Can you do an EVA report? You can do an EVA report. Excellent. Can you take a surface sample? You can take a surface sample. Excellent. Can you get back in the ship? Just about. She can just about manipulate her vertebrae enough to get back in. Brilliant. Well, let's retrieve our successful first mission to the moon. Yay! Done it. Oh. Hooray. And how much science and money did we get for that then? $371 science and 198. Okay, lovely. EVA report, sciencey. Next. We get a bit of money back for the equipment that came back. Woohoo! And Valentina gets for... Oh, I didn't upgrade my astronaut complex. Mind you, I don't have infinite money. Kerbals can perform... Oh, I see. Fully... Oh, no, the astronaut complex is fully upgraded. There you go. Okay. Oh, we've got some debris that we can recover as well. Oh, that's the thrusters. That's the original boosters that we lopped off. Can we get morning, please? I'm sick of this nighttime stuff. There we go. Lovely. Great. What science has that gotten us then? Well, I guess we should... Miniaturization, yeah. Oh, the docking ports. Yeah, we do need a docking port. Okay, we need a docking port. All right, fine. I'll get my aerodynamics just so I've got this whole decision tree done. And one more thing to spend on. Heavier rocketry. Yeah, it does seem tempting. Precision propulsion. Useful but not essential. Advanced fuel systems. Oh, those would be good as well. Specialised construction. Actuators. Supersonic flight. We're not too worried about that. What it is, I want all of these things, but... what's that? Our monopropellant tank, command modules. Oh, we want all of this stuff, but I tell you what, we will just, I think, advanced electrics. Let's go for heavier rocketry. There we go. So, there we go. That was Mission to the Moon. Great. What have we got here? Mission control. We don't have any active. Oh, explore the moon. Return to Kerbin from the surface of the moon. Land on the moon. How did we not win that then? Didn't we literally do that? Minmus next, I should think so. Return to Kerbin from the surface of the moon. Incomplete. That seems unfair. Got to accept them. Well, we apparently we didn't do that. Oh God, it's a bloody conspiracy. Is this parallel shadows again? My lander didn't return. Oh, right, of course, that's what it is. You need to bring the lander back. Oh, bloody, no one said, Neil Armstrong didn't bring his lander back with him. Come on. Ugh, fine. Well, okay, we didn't explore the moon, apparently, according to the internet. But we've got lots more missions that we can do. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. Maybe space planes as well. Maybe we should be looking at upgrading start getting some space planes on the go. Get a nice little, maybe we should have a nice little space station around Kerbin where we can refuel our rockets and stuff. That'd be nice. Excellent. Great. Lovely. Well, that's the moon done. Next stop, I guess, Minmus. We can have a nice romp around on Minmus. Maybe we could even set up a base on Minmus or something. Do something fun with Minmus. And then after that, well, then we've got other planets to get to. We've got the hellish nightmare that is Eve. Eve is the Venus equivalent. Taking off from Eve is difficult to say the least. We're going to need all the technology we can get if we're going to land on Eve and take off again. That is not easy. So I would say the next one, Eve is the final boss. So after that would be Juno, the Mars. Oh, we can't get a look at Juno. We haven't looked at Juno yet, so we can't see what it looks like. It's just a mystery. After Minmus, we will send our people to Juno. We'll get some science from them. There we go. But for today, Valentina, you can have a nice long list. Congratulations. Lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Actually, let me just save this. Good. And now I just need to tread water for the next 3 minutes. Good, good, good. Brilliant. What fun. The Eve return is brutal. I've done it before, once, and that was only because I'd managed to land on a mountain that was already 9,000 metres above sea level, which makes a huge difference in Eve, doesn't it? If you try and take off from sea level, that really is too much. And it was, it was a big fat onion of a spaceship that just, you had to fly up. You can't fly on Eve. You can't fly at an inclination. Because when you jettison your boosters, the atmosphere is so thick, they just immediately smash into you. So if I remember right, to take off from Eve, you have to keep it at an absolute perpendicular angle, so that when you lose your boosters, they all fall off in a nice Korolev cross. So you need to go up and then once you're out of the atmosphere, go sideways, which is a lot more inefficient than doing it any other way. So we won't be doing Eve tomorrow, but tomorrow I think we will absolutely be looking at Minmus, and maybe we could make a rover actually. Why don't we send a rover to Nimbus and have Jeb drive that around? That should be some fun. Yeah, good idea. We will send a rover to Minmus tomorrow. Good. Well, thank you all very much. That was really good fun. I enjoyed that. Thank you all very much for joining me. I've got a minute and a half, so that's enough time for me to check if any of my contemporaries are also streaming. I could go with some... Hey, Chloe IRL is currently driving through what looks like heavy rain. So that's going to be a lovely bit of ASMR. So why don't we give Chloe a raid? And I /raid Chloe __ IRL, isn't it? I'll throw you over to Chloe in the rain. Oops. God, someone doesn't know how the internet works. The raid has been created. Excellent. Great. Well, that's all from me today. Thank you very, very much. I'm back at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, as indeed every morning, every weekday morning. That's what I do now. So it'd be lovely for you to join me. It'd be lovely to join me on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, or over here on the main channel on Twitch. Join the community and get yourself some subscriber bonuses. How do we feel today, Wen?
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Brilliant. Right. Well, I'm going to trigger the end clock. Oh, hang on. I can get this. There we go. And let's go and raid Chloe IRL. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you very, very much. Please do join me tomorrow for more fun. But let's go over elsewhere. Thank you very much. JCBP, thank you so much for the subs and the follows. See you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye. 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 No, you hang up.